Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of We Outside the podcast where we talk about everything. I am Mikey Crump,
It's your boy, A brother.
and this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Why such the sad face, Mr. Haley?
Uh, today I had high hopes,
High hopes
prayed to
for what?
God that my Eagles was gonna win and they failed me. You know,
Eh,
I didn't expect us to lose like that. Um, that's why I have the shades on. It's basically a funeral right now.
Funeral's
Just
crazy, but I feel
thank
you.
God
I
for
feel
us.
you. Um, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so let's go there then. Let's go there then. Since we starting off with that, let's go there. Personally, my observation of the game was basically that the Eagles did not play their best football. San Francisco didn't play their best football either, but San Francisco's wasn't as bad as the Eagles, and they was able to pull the game off because there was nothing that the San Francisco 49ers did to me, based off my observation, that was enough for the Eagles to like lose. But like I said, the Eagles didn't play their best football, and that's why they didn't pull off the victory, and that's why they're not going to repeat. So, you know, honestly, looking at the game and analyzing the game, I feel like they can only blame themselves for it because they had opportunities. They had a lead at halftime, and AJ Brown did drop a pass. So they had opportunities. The battle of the quarterbacks. I'm not gonna. If you look at the quarterback rating was still the same. So it wasn't like something that Brock Purdy did better than Jalen Hurts and vice versa. So it was just about execution, and down the stretch, San Francisco executed enough plays to pull off the victory.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the first half, the San Francisco 49ers punched us in the mouth with the off the first play. We wasn't ready, you know, and that's inexcusable, as defending champs. You come off the first play, you get a 50-yard boom to the wideout. That's inexcusable, especially on Quinyon Mitchell. And he's an all pro, first team all pro. So that was inexcusable on there. Our defense wasn't ready to play, giving up points like that. And big chunk plays. We usually don't do that. Usually you have to, fight your way to score against our defense. But today we didn't do what we are accustomed to is sacking the quarterback, get into Brock Purdy, making him uncomfortable. We didn't do that enough, in my opinion. First half, our offense was okay. It was decent. It was decent.
You had to
It was
lead at
decent
halftime.
enough. Yeah, it was decent enough. It was decent enough. The second half, it was like the same old stuff. Like uh, we are behind the chains, either a penalty or Saquon getting stopped in the backfield because our offensive line can't block, or we missing blocks. Um, I don't really fault this game on Jalen Hurts. That's my quarterback, but I wouldn't give too much blame on him. But obviously, he's the quarterback, so he's going to get blamed because at the end of the day, he had a chance to win it. So through all our problems, he still had a chance to win it, and I have to keep the same energy for every quarterback. 'Cause that's what I would have said. You still had a chance through all our problems. He still had a chance to win it. AJ Brown dropped a lot of passes. Um, for someone that always talks about wanting the football in those moments, he failed us. Um, and Jalen Hurts threw the ball to his hands, so it wasn't like it was an errant pass or anything like that. When we needed it on third down, Jalen Hurts threw the ball on target, through the wind and all. Um, our kicker missing the extra point, can't have that. That's inexcusable. Like I said, my Eagles just didn't come to play like defending champs. Offensive coordinator, I don't know what he was drawing up. I felt like I could draw up plays better than that on Madden. especially in the second half, and especially on the fourth and 11 was crazy. You just basically told all the wideouts just to go deep. So it's like there was no variation in the play or anything like that. That's easy to defend. Like these are like the 49, even though they have a lot of people out, like they still are decent defense. These people get paid to play defense at the end of the day. So like you still gotta come to play. And our offense is easy to figure out. And we've been dealing with this for 17 weeks, and there will be changes in Philadelphia for sure because
I
of this.
personally feel like it's the end of an era. I feel like it's going to be a whole revamped roster, whether that's in a good way or a bad way. These next couple of weeks, I feel like it's going to be a revamped roster, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. AJ Brown will no longer be in the Eagles uniform. I believe that. Um, Obviously Jalen Hurts is staying. Saquon Barkley. Next season is probably going to be his last season with the Eagles, because like you know how politics is with the money in football. He probably going to be there next season. Devontae is going to be there, but it's going to be a whole entire new vamped roster in Philly. And also, like I said, like you said, Jalen Hurts had an opportunity to win. When
Yep,
San Francisco scored, they had the ball with 2 minutes and thirty seconds left to win the game.
yep,
We've seen him do game winning drives this whole season. He had a game winning drive against the Rams. Like we've
yes,
seen
sir.
him do it. So he had a
Yeah,
chance to do it. And also, Brock Purdy didn't play great. He had two
right.
interceptions.
Yeah, and the thing is, like even as I feel like our defense didn't play up to our standard, you know, but our defense played good enough to win that game because those two interceptions with a average offense should be able to score points, and we didn't do that. We didn't execute.
And
Um,
also, Christian McCaffrey didn't have a great game either. He had a
no,
deep.
no. Our defense did good enough in containing him, even though he got off
He
with his
had
touchdowns,
48
whatever case
yards
me. No,
compared to
but
Saquon's 200.
yeah, but our defense did enough to win, in my opinion, but we didn't play to our standard. And because we didn't play to our standard, that's why we're home. We're in Cancun and I got shades on
What is
right
the
now.
but what I'm saying is, what is the 2025 standard for the Philadelphia Eagles? Because yes, the Eagles won double digit games this year, but they didn't have that same aura of the champions of last year. Like last year was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Most 99, 96% of the time they was gonna win. They didn't have that, or even when they lost to Tampa Bay the year before, they still had that aura. This Eagles team really didn't have the aura. Like they had a lot of bad losses this year.
We did.
They lost to the New York Giants on prime time.
We lost to Denver. We lost to the Cowgirls.
Well, Denver's a good team though. Denver's a good team.
Yeah, but we was up. We was up,
Yeah,
21
yeah,
points.
yeah.
So
They're the
it's like
comeback kids though.
it's still
Denver
it's
and
inexcusable.
Chicago are the comeback kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's what I'm saying. So like, y'all didn't have that same aura that y'all had, and personally, this is just my opinion. You're an Eagles fan. You would probably know more than me, but I would say, like, when I look at them, I would say there was a lot of tension in the locker room where people weren't connected like they were previous years. The reason why I'm saying that is because Saquon Barkley and Donald Trump, that was a conversation, and then also when they won the Super Bowl, some people on the Eagles went to the White House and other players didn't. That, builds conflict in the locker room as well. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people, especially people that look like us, that don't like Donald Trump, that don't agree with what Donald Trump brings to the table. And then, obviously there's people that feel the opposite way. So I feel like that's tension as well. And when you have some type of tension, it may not be like a tension where it's like, oh, you notice it, but it's the tension where it's like deep in your mind or like on the back of your mind, like, oh, that might cause a little tension.
my opinion from being around them, being in the stadium, that could have played a part. I'm not saying that it didn't. I just feel like they together, like as a unit, they just didn't play to the standard. I feel like it's more deeper than that. I think it's the AJ rants, you know,
That too.
um even though what he was saying wasn't wrong,
What was
but
he saying?
it's how you doing things. It's how you doing things and you're putting your quarterback on blast. Even you throwing subliminals on Instagram, that's not championship behavior, you know. You keep those things in house, you know. Even if I do have beef with somebody and it's on the team, you keep that between us. You don't let the outside find out about these type of things. And these are things that are controllable. And the same thing like Jalen Hurts always said, like control what you can control, you know? So and then other thing that he always says like either you're gonna win or you're gonna learn. And we're gonna learn from this and we're gonna be better. But there's gonna be changes, especially Kevin Patullo. Um he should be gone like the game ended, I think 7:42 p.m. I think it was.
Yeah.
He should be fired immediately. Immediately. And if I see him, I'm putting hands on him. And that's a fact.
Okay. Okay. So rate the Eagles season this season. Rate their season. I will give you some names and you rate them. All right. So rate Saquon Barkley this season.
Out of 10,
Out of whatever rating you want.
uh I give him a solid I give him a solid B.
Give him a B.
Hmm.
Jalen Hurts.
I give him solid B as well.
Okay. AJ Brown.
C.
Devontae Smith.
He was a B.
Um, the offensive coordinator.
F.
Coach Sirianni.
F.
Okay. The defense.
I give it a B plus.
B plus.
B plus.
Even after okay. Even after the playoff performance?
Even after the playoff performance, B plus.
Okay. Offensive line.
C.
Okay. Okay. Special teams.
C.
Okay. So, all right. So, what do you think the Eagles need to do for them to get back to where they was at and have all of the Philly fans get on my nerves about fly Eagles fly? Like, what do the Eagles need to do to get back to that?
Usually I leave that to our GM, Howie Roseman, 'cause I trust him. But
I'm
from
asking
my
you though.
opinion, um, I will I would say we need to get another offensive lineman because Lane Johnson, he was out and we can't depend on him. He's getting up there in age. So we need to get another offensive lineman. We do need another cornerback to be beside Quinyon because what was happening this whole season, I don't know if you noticed, is that the offenses were attacking Adoree Jackson or
Well,
whoever we had
well,
at the second.
I'll tell you as a Giants fan, Dory Jackson ain't it.
Yeah. So like
I would tell you that.
yeah. So like dealing with him, um, he gotta go. So we gotta get better on
So
the back end.
who are you trying to get? I'll name you some free agent cornerbacks that are in the market, and you tell me if they can help your team get back to, where you think they're going to be. All right, I'm gonna name some. All right.
Mm-hmm. Ready?
Hold on, hold on. Yeah. So this is we outside. Avery's letting it all out on the Eagles. The Eagles had a unfortunate loss to the San Francisco
Stressing me out,
49ers. So
man.
we're gonna have a new Super Bowl champion this year. Well,
Unfortunately.
yes, but it happens.
They do.
Hopefully they
They do.
bounce back and figure it out.
We will.
Okay.
We will. I
Yeah.
have no doubt about that. Like I said, I believe in Howie Roseman. Um, with his eye for talent, we're gonna be back. So it's just unfortunate, you know. You want to have that chance to defend your crown, and Like I said today, we didn't do that.
Man, I ain't even showing no cornerback free agents. My fault. What is going on? Okay, I got it. I ain't gonna lie, it's not okay. So we got Nate Hobbs of the Green Bay Packers.
Negative.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Ain't re Darius Slay. You gonna spin the block on Darius Slay? I feel like okay. I'll give you my opinion. Darius Slay is 34 years old, but I feel like losing him, he was like the heart and soul of the Eagles. It's like similar to the
I didn't want
Lakers.
him to leave. I didn't want him to leave.
So I feel like Darius Slay is the heart and soul of the Eagle, was the heart and soul of the Eagles. It's
That's
like
why
when the
he didn't play that great this season um
Pittsburgh.
with Pittsburgh. So
I feel
I
like
felt like
I feel like it's like when the Lakers lost Derek Fisher and they got
yeah.
Derek Fisher back and the
Hmm.
aura was restored. So I
Yeah.
feel like he's similar to that. Like it's certain players that you need to keep the peace and keep everything a straight line. And I feel like he's one
Yeah.
of those players for the Eagles. It's like Lance Stevenson when like Lance Stevenson was on the Pacers. Like the best version of Lance Stevenson is when he was on the Pacers. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't his best when he was on the Lakers, the Hornets,
Yeah, he
Timberwolves.
belongs in with the Eagles. I felt like I understood, financially, whatever case may be, but I knew it because when he left Pittsburgh and we was trying to get him back. We was trying to get him back, excuse me. We was trying to get him back. And we put out a claim for him, but the Buffalo Bills got him. But then, I knew he wasn't going there. He ain't going up to the cold to play up there. I knew he was going to either he's
Okay.
going to retire.
So I'll say okay, 2026. So we have I'm not gonna lie, it's not really a lot of names.
No, it's not. It's I feel like we either have to trade or we're going to have to draft.
Yeah, we're
We're
gonna
going
have
to
to
have to trade or
trade. We
draft.
gotta find somebody that's unhappy.
Yeah, but I would say mostly draft. I think Howie, he's going to draft.
Okay.
Like I said, like he drafted Quinyon, he didn't drafted Coop, um, and those are two all pros. You know,
So what are the names that you feel like can restore the feeling for Philly? You haven't still haven't given me no names besides Darius Slay. You said you may need a new offensive lineman. Like who are the names to restore the feeling in Philly for you?
for me, it's going to be more drafting.
Yeah, I agree because there's not
It's
really
going to be more
nobody
drafting. It's
available.
not really nobody.
Yeah.
It's not sexy. It's not going to be a sexy pick or anything like that. It's going to be more figuring out who's going to be declaring and what's the best fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. But there's right off the top of my head, there's nobody
Exactly. Yeah, I
out
agree.
here right now.
And
You know, uh, the only offensive lineman that I do like is Joe Tooney. I like him, but I think he's under contract.
yeah. So
He's under contract, but
yeah, low
yeah.
key might be spinning the block with the same team next season. Maybe without AJ Brown. So let's see what they do. Let's see what
Well, it
they do.
depends. It depends on what we get back for AJ Brown. I think really the number one thing is to fire Kevin Patullo. Um, and then I honestly Nick Sirianni's on the hot seat. I like if he gets fired, I won't blink an eye either.
Ain't no coaches available.
There is.
Who you gonna hire? That's I feel like you're not. It's not gonna get any better than him with that team. Like the Browns coach Jim Harbaugh. Who you bringing in?
I think it would probably be Harbaugh.
What has Harbaugh done? Harbaugh has a multiple time MVP and only won one time, and he didn't even win with the multiple time MVP.
Um,
So that's what I'm saying. You better off just keeping the coach you have.
yeah,
You want the Cleveland Browns coach?
nah, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't really nobody available.
Yeah, but that's the name. So, yeah, I know we looked at him already.
Yeah, Giants looked
Um,
at him as well. So, what you gonna
so
bring? Brian Daboll?
he's a name for the OC. He's a name.
Good luck with that.
Um, uh, but the other names I for OC, Doug Peterson. We got Mike McDaniel out of Miami. Got him for OC. Um, Listen, all of them could do a better job than what Kevin Patullo did. I put it like this. I'm not saying that they world beaters, but our offense was so uh pedestrian that like I said, me and you could have did that, honestly.
I mean, okay. I feel like the quarterback he only threw for 150 yards, 158 yards to my memory.
Hmm.
Like I said, I just feel like I don't feel like you need to do a lot with them because like I said, they didn't play their best game. And when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about who has the better game. And San Francisco just had a better game. I don't feel like you need to do a lot because y'all just didn't play great and y'all still had a chance to win. So I just feel like y'all just need to go to the drawing board and just figure something out, have conversations within the team so y'all can get back on one accord, so y'all can go back and, be in the big dance and compete for a
I
Super
agree.
Bowl.
I agree with that. I said
So I was like,
I agree with that. It's not going to be major changes. Like for me personally, the only change I would make is our offensive coordinator. That's the only thing that I would get rid of. Like I
okay,
would get rid of today.
okay,
Nick Sirianni, I'm not asking for his job right now, but I know how that goes. When you lose in the first round as a defending Super Bowl champ, they're gonna look at you, and then you got a hot coach that is out right now that everybody's looking at, you know, that like we gotta be realistic right now. So but right now just the OC, we just get rid of him. Like I said, you get rid of him or I'm gonna have to see him,
okay,
you know,
got you. All right, so did you get your Eagles rant off, or you still, do I need to call Dr. Phil, or you need to go off a little more?
come back. We'll come back later on because
Okay, okay, I got you.
I got a little rant for Kevin Patullo, you know.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about the NFL playoffs. You
Yeah.
know, let's talk about the biggest losers and the biggest winners of the NFL playoffs so far, the wild card. So who is your biggest winner in the playoffs and your biggest loser in the playoffs so far?
So far, I would say the loser is obviously my team.
Okay.
Um,
All right, so I go. So the loser for me would be the Packers. The
yeah,
Packers, they gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter. They was up 21-6 to end it. They was up 21-6 entering the fourth quarter and they lost. So I would say
yeah,
the biggest loser to me is the Packers. You can't
for
lose
sure.
like that in the playoffs. You
Yeah,
know,
I was hoping that that Green Bay would win. So hoping that the Eagles will win today, and then they'll have another home game.
oh
Because if
well.
that happens, then like everything, like everybody was talking about, like and on the Eagles side was like the sky was falling because we didn't get the second seed. But
Oh
I like
well.
all that would be forgiven if Green Bay handled their business, which they should have did. They should have won that game.
Shoulda,
But
coulda, woulda.
like I said, yeah, exactly. They second half, just like my team, we didn't show up. We didn't show up in
Yeah.
the second half. That's simple
Yeah.
as that.
But the thing is also I would to play devil's advocate with that, the Packers played great for 3.5 quarters.
Hmm.
I don't feel like the Eagles ever caught a rhythm in their
No,
game. So
no. It was one thing that I noticed like at watching the game. I don't know if you picked up on it. Is that like same thing when you're talking about the rhythm? Like each time that we actually had a positive play, we never got on the ball. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's how I
we
feel
never
about
got
rhythm.
on the ball. Like if you notice that like what Tom Brady was saying, like you need to get on the ball. Like we
Yeah.
keep on slowing down the rhythm and everything, walking it up. It's like walking up the basketball.
That's what I
Like you
mean by
can't do
rhythm.
that
And that's what I mean by
because
rhythm.
because you yeah,
They
exactly.
never
Like
really
you
flowed. They never really
right.
flowed perfectly. Like you thought they was gonna go there, but they didn't go there.
Yeah, so it's like you get a good play and then you slowing it down and then the positive of you playing up tempo is that now defense can't substitute. So now you in that same coverage. And Jalen Hurts is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He could dissect that. Like, so that's the benefit of that. That's why I'm like, listen, I'm an amateur and I could see that. But clearly our OC can't see that. And it's been going on. This has been going on the whole season. Like we never played up tempo unless we was down and we was forced to it, like we was forced to on that last drive. And you can't expect to get a rhythm like that, on the last drive. But like
But
I said, we didn't play to our standard.
but yeah, but and like I said, to play devil's advocate, 158 yards ain't going to do it in the playoffs. It's not
No,
going to
it's
do
not.
it, especially at home. It's not going to do it, and guys can't drop passes either. So
No, you can't.
you know, what I'm saying like, so you could say the OC, but they had chances, they just didn't execute those chances, in
No,
my
they
opinion.
can't. They can't. Like I said, like there's blame to go around. There's blame
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
around. It's not just the OC. It's just it's the players too. Because the players go out there and play.
Hmm.
Because I can call up everything that I want. Um, Me personally, I feel like the plays aren't good enough to prevail. To execute. Even if they do execute, I don't think just like that 4th and 11. Like you put doing four verticals up, that's easy to defend. You know. But
Yeah.
like I said, Jalen Hurts threw it into traffic. It was three people there. Like you had two wideouts on opposite side. You could throw it and you could win for the end zone or whatever case may be. But I seen why he threw it there. But the thing was is that you throwing into the wind, like if Tom Brady was explaining about the wind, and that you have to throw at a certain trajectory. If not, it's going to sail or
But
it's going to be late. He's trying to fit it into a closed window. I knew what he was trying to do because he's seen like the if you seen it, the wires on both sides they were covered. So that's 50-50. Um, Throw it up right there. He's seen Dallas got it. He's like, hey, if I throw it right into this window quick enough, I can get it right there. You know, but even so, it should have never got to that. Because like I said, if we would have hit the extra point earlier, even when we were driving, all we had to do was kick a field goal, and then we go into overtime, and then we give us another chance. But like I said, we didn't play to our standard.
yeah, but also you got to take everything Tom Brady says with a grain of salt because Tom Brady's the GOAT. So his eyes and his football mind is different than everybody else's. So it's like he can say something, but everybody else can't do what he does.
No, 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 no. I understand if
It's like
you trying to
similar
say
to
that.
like Michael Jordan. Like when Michael Jordan tries to like tell the game to other players, you can't do what Michael Jordan does.
No, 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 but he was breaking down enough so I understood what he was saying. I understood what he was saying, and like he was just pointing out the obvious. In my opinion, he didn't do anything that was like that was so like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
above surface level. Like like it's windy, so obviously you can't throw it the same way, you know. So some footballs are going to sail high, whatever case may, or they're not going to get there um at the rate that you expect it to be. So you have to, like you said, Drew, you have to drive the football, like
Yeah.
Brock Purdy was doing. He was driving the football down down the field when he was hitting his wideouts and everything like that. So yeah, like I said,
Okay. All right.
it's
So
unfortunate.
let's move on. Like I said, we was talking about the Packers being the biggest losers
Yes,
these playoffs because like I said, it was up 21-6 and they were unable to execute. And the Chicago Bears have one of the best playoff comebacks, one of the best playoff performances in modern time.
yes,
And they're moving on.
yes, they are.
Very rare for us to say that the Chicago Bears have a chance to win the Super Bowl. They haven't won
Yeah,
since 1985.
they
So it's
do.
been a while since the Chicago Bears won. So, shout out to the Chicago Bears. But I would say the Packers is the biggest loser to me in
Hmm.
the NFC. And
Yeah,
my biggest loser in the AFC, I'm going to go with the not the San Diego Chargers, the LA Chargers.
LA Chargers. I was about to just, yeah, I was
The
going to
LA
say that
Chargers, they scored 3 points. There's nothing else to say. They scored three
bro. I'm like,
points.
and this is the quarterback everybody praises, and
They
and
say
they say
he's top
that
five.
and they say that he's so much better than Jalen Hurts and all that stuff. I like he didn't even put up a touchdown.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me go off. Let me go off. Everybody always talks about what Jalen Hurts can't do or what he hasn't done, but everybody they talk about who's done all of this stuff haven't done what Jalen Hurts has done. Jalen Hurts has been to the Super Bowl 2 times in the last 4 seasons. He has a Super Bowl ring, and Justin Herbert literally scored 3 points. Josh Allen has never touched the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson has never touched a AFC Championship game. You know, Dak Prescott has never touched NFC Championship game. So for everything that you say about what Jalen Hurts can do, I think you just need to respect the fact that his team always has a chance to win. You know, obviously they didn't win this season,
Yes,
but
sir.
2 times in the last 4 years, that's impressive for somebody who they say is limited. You know what I'm saying? So I
Especially
would
for
say,
someone that got benched for Tua.
yeah, he did. He
So
had to go to Oklahoma too. Yeah, he did. And
yeah,
Mac Jones too.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so I would say for everything that he can't do, they say he can't do, he's done a lot. So I would say,
yes, sir.
people hype up all these players, but and they put down one player, but they hype up these other players, and these other players haven't done anything. Justin Herbert
Right.
scored 3 points in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
You know,
I was like, what? I was like, what is this? I'm watching. I'm waiting for him to, all right, get it going, and he never got it going. I mean,
top
like I
five. They
said,
say he's top five.
he had wideouts open. He didn't get them the ball.
And
You
also with
know.
Justin Herbert, all of his peers have made it to at least the divisional game. At least.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, who hasn't been to the playoffs in a couple of years, he made
Yeah.
it to a Super Bowl.
And he beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he made it to a Super Bowl. Didn't win the Super Bowl, but he made it to a Super Bowl. Josh
Yeah.
Allen, AFC Championship game, MVP. You
Yeah.
know, Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl champion, 2 Super Bowl appearances. These are his peers.
Yeah.
These are his peers. It looks like he's in the same conversation as, DJ, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones won a playoff game.
He is.
So he
I,
looks like he's in the same conversation as him.
he is. He is. He's 0-3 now. He's
That's what
0
I'm
and 3.
saying.
He's
Daniel
0 and
Jones
3.
is 1-1.
That's what I'm saying. And as record is, you take Daniel Jones right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
That's what I'm saying.
so
If
those are my biggest losers. Those are my
yeah,
biggest losers in the AFC and NFC. My biggest winners, obviously, I'm gonna go with the Bears. The Bears is my biggest winner in the NFC. They had an incredible performance. We just talked about it. They was down
yes, sir.
21-6 entering the fourth quarter. I thought the game was over, but Caleb Williams played like a number one pick. He
Yeah,
played like a number one pick. He played like how we were supposed to play as a number one pick as a franchise quarterback. He did his
yes, sir.
job, and that there's they're still dancing in the dance. So they're not eliminated yet. So I would say that the Chicago Bears, they played great. Their defense was great. They executed great on offense down the stretch. They didn't let the big league startle them. They was like, we've been here before. The Bears are the comeback kids. The Bears are the comeback kids, and so are the Broncos.
Yeah,
Never if you down by 20 as a Chicago Bear, you're never startled because you have a chance. That's how talented those guys are. But what scares me about the Bears is that they play like this when they get down by 20. Can they play like this when they're not down by 20? Sometimes that's not always going to work, because
exactly.
now in the playoffs, you're going to play better competition. So there's going to be a team that you play that know how to execute when they're up by 20, and they're not going to let you come back. They're going to make the right plays to keep the game at 20. So I would say that's what I'm worried about with the Chicago Bears. Can they play the way that they play when they're down by 20 when they're not down by 20?
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest question. Like I said, I had the same winners, but I also say the LA Rams. I
Mm.
still give it to them because you know, thing is to be a Super Bowl champion, you're going to have to go through trials and tribulations. You're going to go through games where you don't have your best game, but you make it. You make it through. You find a way. And Stafford on the last possession on the game-winning drive, he did that. He showed why I think he's the MVP. You know, uh, I would say with the LA, LA Rams, they did what they needed to do just to survive and advance. And like I said, that offense is high powered. And Puka Nacua, like he's I know people talk about Justin Jefferson, but that guy's is right there, if not the best wide receiver
He's the
in our
best.
league.
Justin
I,
Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league, but I agree with you with him doing the
but yeah,
Rams.
but Puka got he got argument as well. So and obviously you got Devontae Adams, you know. So you got your running back Kyron Williams. So you got all the pieces. Now, did I like how it went? It should never went like that, but like I said, you got to survive in advance. Because like I
At the
said,
end of
we
the
had
day, it's the playoffs. It's the playoffs.
at the
These are the
end of the day,
best of the best.
everybody's playing out their mind. Everybody gonna play hard. So, it's just survive in advance and that's it.
Yeah.
So I feel like the LA Rams, I feel like they got a chance. They
Hmm.
got a chance. And I'm
Especially
looking
no with
forward to that
Eagles. With no
matchup.
Eagles, it's wide open.
Exactly.
It's wide
Exactly. And
open with no Eagles.
I feel like they got a chance next week. They got a chance next
Oh
week.
yeah. So wrapping up on the playoffs, um, preview. We got the Steelers versus the Texans. You said you picked the Texans, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and
Ain't
I'm
nothing
picking
changed.
and I'm picking the Steelers. I think the Steelers are gonna do enough to win because Aaron Rodgers, to me, he's been in these situations. I feel like he could do enough to get past the Texans. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see on Monday. We'll see Monday Night Football.
I look forward to that. I feel like Houston's defense is going to be the big factor in who's going to win. And if Houston can get to Aaron Rodgers, I think it's going to be lights out. I think it's going to
Okay.
be lights out. If they
Uh,
can get to Aaron Rodgers, because the last game Aaron Rodgers didn't get touched, he didn't really get touched, and obviously if he don't get touched, he's going to torch you. Even at his advanced age. Um, so I believe in this Houston defense. They're gonna get to him. They're gonna force him into some throws that he don't want to throw. And I think CJ Stroud just needs to do enough. He just needs to not turn over the ball. If he doesn't turn over the ball and he puts his offense in good positions to succeed, they're gonna come out with the victory. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be a tough game, but I got Houston.
okay. You got Houston and I got Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So wrapping up on the wild card, Bryce Young. Do you think this is a step in the right direction? Do you think he can do this on a consistent basis?
Um,
Because I don't trust that division. I don't because like it's always the same thing every year.
y-
It's always like 8-9, 9 and
yeah,
8.
Bryce, he shows you flashes, and I know why he's playing because he's playing for basically for his starting job, because um that was in question, but I don't think he did enough. Me in my opinion, I feel like um you could do what you did this season with rookie quarterback. Like you just start new, fresh, and and you don't want to put money into someone that's going to give you these type of results. Like we shouldn't be rewarding a player for
Doing what
what
he's
he
supposed to do as a number one pick.
exactly, and a number one pick, and their record was below 500.
8-9. Well, eight
Yeah,
and ten.
yeah, 8 and 9. So it's like 8 and 9, and you gonna want another contract? Excuse me.
But also to his argument, they went to the playoffs.
They went to the playoffs.
So
They did.
so yes,
They did.
it's about the playoffs.
It is about the playoffs, but you didn't do nothing in the playoffs.
That's true. He played a
So
great game, but you're right.
no,
All
he
right.
did. He did. And showing you flashes is making the conversation harder to have.
Hmm.
But
I'm looking at his stat line. He he was 21 for 40. He had one touchdown, one interception. He got sacked twice, and his quarterback rating was 71. So,
that's what I'm saying. Like
so it's
it
like,
wasn't.
so I'm asking you, like, so do you feel like he could be the man in the NFC South? And you're saying you don't see it
No,
yet.
no. I think it's still Baker.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's still Baker.
Baker with Mike Evans is way better than
That's what I'm saying. I'm taking Baker
with
um
Mike Evans.
with Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Yes. He has to have it
And
Mike Evans.
also, I
And
still
Chris
feel like
Godwin.
I feel like the Falcons still have a conversation too.
The Falcons have a conversation
You
too, because they
know,
getting better too. Their defense is
and
getting there.
hey, we could also go and say if the Saints didn't lose 2 games, they would be in the conversation too.
Yeah, Saints, yeah. But I mean Atlanta, I like them. Rickea Jackson's boyfriend. She He's on the Falcons. He's doing his thing there. So like I said, that division is going to get better. But for me to say like, oh, I'm gonna say that Bryce is my number one. That's my quarterback. I don't know. I need more. I need
Yeah,
more.
I got you. I got you. I need more Avery voice. You gotta trademark that.
That's a
You gotta
fact.
trademark that.
I need more. I need more. I need
You
more.
gotta trademark that. I'm
I
still,
need.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I still feel a type of way about that shit. Off topic.
Oh,
So
my fault.
for the listeners listening, me and Avery been best friends for 14 years now.
Yes, sir.
Damn, that's
I
crazy.
know.
We've been friends for 14 years. We met August
Uh,
20th, 2012. So it's gonna be 14 years in August.
yes,
But
sir.
okay, no, so it was Avery's birthday in Washington, D.C. in 2022. I went to, we went to
Oh God.
DC. This is probably like a bad time of my life because I was unemployed, but I still went. So we went to the party. So we went to
Shout out
DC.
to
We
you
went to
for that.
Club Rose Bar in DC. Shout out to DC. Shout out to Connecticut Avenue.
Shout out to
So we
DC.
was, so we in the club.
CMP.
We having fun. I'm talking to somebody. I'm having fun. I'm talking to somebody, trying to get her number or whatever. Right? Avery's having the time of his life. This dude's on top of the table. This dude is doing the Dougie. This dude cabbage
As I
patching.
should. It's my birthday.
This
I'm
dude
feeling
on top of the
myself.
table.
Confidence is high.
This dude drinking a bottle of champagne like it's water.
I was.
Right? So he's standing up. He see me. He jumps off the table.
Yeah.
He jumps off the table. And then he taps my shoulder and I ignore him. And then he taps it hard like this. Do, 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 do. And I'm like, what? He said, yo, get me bitches. What? I'm busy right now. Yo, give me bitches. I'm like, you already got girls. You already got girls. He said, I need more.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm busy right now. I'll do it. I'll help you in a few. But can you do it now? It's my birthday. You feel me? I was like, yo, you can't ask your cousin. You can't ask Drew. If I ask Drew, he gonna say no, and he don't know what I like. You know what I like, nigga.
I really said it like that too. Like he did. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I sound like a little bit like Cameron for a little minute though. Low key. Yo.
But what made it funnier, the girl I was talking to, she said, "So you just gonna do that like his groupie and his lackey?" She said, "What kind of grown man are you? You just gonna just listen to some random dude?" I'm like, "That's my best friend. It's his birthday." Yeah, but you gonna actually do it like some groupie. I was like, damn. No, no, no. And then I was like, I'll do
Nah,
it to
shout out
come
to
with you.
you though. Shout out to you. That's a real best friend. He took insults and he still got the job done for me. He pulled some joints for me and everything. And pulled them to VIP and everything.
Yeah. And the girl was like, if that was me, I would have put hands on him. I'm like, that's my best friend. He's a little excited. It's his birthday. It's all right.
I
He
was
don't
lit.
mean no harm.
I was lit. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. So that's why when he said I need more, that's the first thing I think of
I
every
do.
time I
I'm
hear
I'm
that.
gonna get a trademark. I'm gonna get a
You
trademark. I'm
gotta
gonna
get
need
that
more.
trademark.
I'm gonna
You
need
gotta get that
I need
trademark.
more about butter.
That's a fact. Get that trademark. Get shirts. I need more.
Facts.
All right.
Nah, I
But
am. No, I
what?
will. I will. I'll get that done.
All right, all right. So let's preview the divisional round before we move on.
Yeah.
NFL divisional round. You know more about. Okay, so I have the 49ers versus Seahawks. Who do you got?
All right. So George Kittle is out with a torn Achilles. I hope he get back safe, healthy. Um, but I think their injuries are going to finally, catch up to them, and they're going to lose against Seattle. Seattle has a great defense. Sam Darnold, he just has to do enough. He just has to just do enough. He doesn't have to do too much, you know.
Nailed it right there.
Yeah.
Because based off of how Brock Purdy played this
Yeah.
game against the Eagles, he didn't play a great game. He had a
No.
lot of yards, but he did not play a great game. He had two interceptions.
Yeah.
So if Sam Darnold does enough to
Yeah.
win, if he does enough, he doesn't have to play like
No,
2007 Tom Brady. He just has
no,
to.
nah, he doesn't. He doesn't have to do that. I would say his defense is going to keep it under 20. I think his defense is going to keep it under 20. Um, or similar to what my Eagles did or better. Um, and Sam Darnold's going to have chances. You got Jigma. I mean, that's the best wide receiver right there, in the matchup. So I feel like Sam Darnold, don't overdo it, don't overthink it. Just give it to your wide out and let them do their thing. You know, don't turn over the ball. Like I said, tips and overthrows, you gotta have those. Like I was saying that loud when Quinion was getting those interceptions because I was just saying that I like tips and overthrows, you gotta have those. So as long as he does not throw it into harm's way, they're going to win the football game. That's the only way they're going to lose is if he turns over the ball. That's the only way.
I'm gonna
If
go
he
with the
doesn't turn over
Seahawks
the
as
ball,
well.
they win.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks as well. I wasn't,
Yeah.
what Cam Newton says, game manager.
Game manager. Hey, listen,
So I would say
get Super Bowls too.
whoever manages the game better is going to win the game. And I think
Yeah.
that based off of how I saw Brock Purdy played, I think that Sam Darnold can manage the game a little better, and I think he's going to do enough for them to win. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks as well. I'm gonna go with the
Yeah.
Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like what Cam Newton said about the game managers, listen, as long as you manage the game and you get them to a W, that's all that matters. So like I know people want to take shots when they call people game managers, whatever case may be, you know, and trying to like shit on them or whatever case may be. Nah. But like I
Rondo's a
said,
game manager.
like I said, like they said that about my quarterback. They said that he was a game manager
He managed the game enough to win a Super Bowl. So who
and
cares?
he's the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I don't think there's no disrespect in that. Like, game
It's
manager
not.
is somebody who controls the game, controls the
It's not.
pace.
That's what Tom Brady was doing. Yeah, if we look at the tapes earlier, he was just managing it. Like his first three Super Bowls, he wasn't like killing it or whatever case may be, throwing it or whatever case may be. He did what needed to be done, and he was clutch in the moments that he needed to be clutch at.
But he
You
also
know?
didn't have any playmakers like he did later in his career. Like he didn't have
Yes.
the Edelmans, the Randy Mosses, the Mike
Hmm.
Evans. You know,
Yeah.
he Tom Brady is so good. No matter who's around him, they're gonna do something. But if you give him a playmaker, ooh,
Yeah. It's a
look what
wrap.
happened when he got Randy Moss. He went undefeated.
Exactly. You know?
So yeah, well, undefeated in the season, obviously. All
Yes.
right, so we both agree with the Seahawks. Next, Bills and Broncos. Who you got? I'm gonna go with
Um,
Buffalo.
you going
I'm
Buffalo?
gonna go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo is gonna do enough to win the game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Even
All
though the
right.
game is in Denver, the Mile High City, the altitude and all that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo because
Yeah.
the Broncos were in this position last year in the playoffs
Hmm.
and they didn't do anything. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And Buffalo, I feel like they got the rust, they got like the jitters out of their system. You know, now
Hmm.
they're in rhythm because they played last week, and the
Yeah.
Broncos haven't played football in 2 weeks. So I would say that Buffalo is going to be ready, and I think Buffalo is going to do enough to win the game. And also, this is do or die for Josh Allen. This
It
game
is.
is Josh Allen's legacy. Is
It
Josh
is.
Allen going to be a GOAT, or is he just going to be a regular person that we forget about in 20 years? Is he going to be in the same conversation as Brady, Mahomes, or is he going to be in the conversation of Matt Hasselbeck?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't
That's
gonna lie to you. Matt Hasselbeck played in the Super Bowl, so he ain't even in that conversation either.
no, I ain't there yet either. I would say before I say who I got, I have to say apology
Oh yeah,
to Josh
facts.
Allen
Yes, you have to.
because I did pick against him. He played a great game. He played like an MVP. He willed his team to win. That was he. listen, he put it all out on the line. That's what you want out of a quarterback, you know. Um, he took a lot of vicious hits in there. Uh, hurt his finger, hurt his leg, you know, and he still, persevered and got the job done, and went on a game-winning drive. So that was guts for him, and like I said, kudos to him. But all that to be said, it's over for him. It's
Going
it's
with the
it's a wrap for
Broncos,
him. So I got the Broncos.
going with Denver.
Uh, that defense there is elite. Is elite. Uh, and like I said, they're the comeback kids, like you said.
They
So
are.
they're not gonna be scared of being down. And they're gonna be at home. It's gonna be rocking.
Yeah, that
Um,
mile high, that altitude is
and
gonna be
and
different.
Bo Nix can play with anybody. He
He
can play
can.
with anybody. So like I said, I think Josh Allen's a little bit hobbled, and I feel like he's not gonna be able to do what he got away with, you know, today. You know, a couple of his throws were a little bit off target and things of that nature. And Josh Allen is due to throw an interception. He's just due for it. Like the gunslinger in him, I kind of like compare him to like Brett Favre because he be taking chances.
That's
He
a
be
good
taking
comparison.
chances.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he takes a lot of chances.
But Brett Favre got made two Super Bowls too.
He do. So he right now he's the team move version of him right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Brett
He's a
Favre got
team
two
move.
Super Bowls under his belt.
He's the team move version right
Well, he
now.
won the Super Bowl and then been to two Super Bowls.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, for sure, for
I just
sure.
want people who's listening that's gonna correct me on TikTok. It's like, oh, he only won one Super Bowl, you monkey. They be mean on
Yeah,
TikTok.
I know, I know. But
But
yeah, like I said, it's gonna be different. And like I said, like in the divisional, like if you look at his stats, like he's like if we was given like awards for like divisional, he would be like the best. Cause like for the divisional, he show he like for the wild card, I should say, not the divisional, on the wild card, like he shows out. He shows out. The problem is the next round.
yeah.
It's the next
The
round, and
problem
then
with
the
him is the
round after
AFC
that. That's his
Championship game.
problem.
The problem with him is the AFC Championship game. That's his
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. And then the thing is that it's like Denver, like they're legit. Um, Sutton, like that wideout, like
I like Sutton.
I like Sutton, like he one on one, you can't guard him. Like you put two people. Listen, my Eagles had two people on him, and he still caught it. Like I said, so it's like at a point, and Bo Nix, he can thread the needle on those passes. He's not scared. Um, so it's gonna be a tough game, but being on the road, it's that's why it's hard for like a team to go on the road, wild card, divisional, conference championship, then the Super Bowl. It's usually you don't see that, you know.
Yeah, you only seen it like what two times in the last. No, you only saw. I think you only saw it one time. And recently, the '07 Giants did it
Yeah,
because I
the
was going to say
Giants.
2011 Giants, but the 2011 Giants had a home game against the Falcons, their
Yeah,
first game. So
yeah, and
the
with
'07
this new
Giants is the only
setup,
team you can. The '07 Giants is the only team you can really think of. You know, they
yeah,
played Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. They played Dallas at Dallas. They played Green Bay, ended Brett Favre's career, and they won a Super Bowl. So it's very rare. It doesn't happen like that. Like I
yeah,
said, the '07 Giants is the only team I could think of,
exactly. So and then with this new
and that's
setup
almost
is
20
that.
years ago.
Yeah, and then with this new setup, you're only the number one seed is getting a bye. See, before you
It
like
was
the
two
top,
teams.
yeah, it was two teams that would get the bye. So it's a different day now. So it's going to be even harder to really advance if you're not really the number one seed, you know. But like I said, I got Denver. You know, I made my apology, but I ain't gonna be apologizing for next week. I guarantee,
Wait.
butter,
We're gonna put this on record.
guarantee.
We want to put this on record. Episode 2 of We Outside. Avery Haley guarantees that he will not be apologizing to Josh Allen next episode.
I guarantee it.
Okay. All
Guarantee
right.
it.
All right. Video. We have the video. Okay.
It's
So
fine. It's fine.
the last matchup that's set so far is the
Mhm.
Rams versus the Bears. Who you got?
That one's gonna be a shootout. That one's going to be a
Yes.
shootout. It's
The
going to be a
final
lot of
score is going to be
points.
like 45 to 48.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. Like I said, like the LA Rams, like their defense ain't is suspect. That's why I was chomping at the bit. Like if we go against them, listen, I can go to sleep and I know that we gonna win. But um with this game, Chicago with Williams, um, he showed me a lot this season. He was just getting better and better. And with a capable OC, Ben Johnson, you see what you can do, you know, something like I wish I had, with Philly, but I digress. But I will say for the matchup, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm gonna go with Chicago because Matthew Stafford sucks in the NFC North.
Yeah,
Traditionally,
he
Matthew
does.
Stafford has sucked in the NFC North.
I, he
His whole
do.
entire career, he was ass in the NFC North for 10
He
years.
do. He
He's
do.
for 10
He
years
do.
he's been ass in the NFC North. And I believe in traditions, and I think that that tradition is going to stay.
I
And if
think
I'm wrong, I will apologize to Mr. Stafford.
I think this time, like I said, like in every run with to the Super Bowl, there's gonna be a game where like, you kind of like you barely won. There's gonna be some questions or whatever case may be, and it's all about surviving and advancing. And LA, they got all the tools. They got
Yeah.
all the tools offensively to get it
So does
done.
Chicago.
And their defensive line is good. Their
Hmm.
back their back end, their DBs is suspect. But if they can get to Caleb, and Caleb is going to throw an interception or two, he's going to throw it up. So if the D line can get to Caleb, which I expected they will do, they're going to be advancing.
Okay.
I believe that Stafford, this is his chance. This is his moment. He he's already the MVP to me, so he's gonna have the
Yeah.
MVP, and then the only thing that's left is to get the Super Bowl. The Eagles is out the way, so this is his moment. This is his moment. And he knows it. So I got the Rams. They're gonna get it done.
Okay, so I got the Bears, you got the Rams. So let's see. Okay, so final thing in terms of the playoffs, there's one final matchup in the wild card. We already picked, you picked the Texans and I picked the Steelers. So I'll basically play scenario with you. So if the Steelers play the Patriots, who you got?
I got the Patriots.
Okay. If the Texans play the Patriots, who you got?
Houston got a good defense, but it's something about them Patriots. I don't even like talking about the Patriots like that. I really don't like them. Um, but Drake May, man, he's showing that he's in that discussion for top five. He's showing he's
So he
showing
jumped
it.
over Justin Herbert?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Yeah, Justin Herbert wet the bed. You know, yeah, he wet the bed. Yeah. He need to get himself together. You
So
know,
you pick, so basically you're picking the Patriots if the Steelers win, and
I'm picking the Patriots regardless.
so
Whoever
you're picking
comes
the
against
Patriots
them,
either way.
whoever whoever the two teams, they're going to lose to the Patriots.
I got the Steelers low key. I got the Patriots beating no, 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 no. I got the Texans beating the Patriots, and I got the Steelers beating the Patriots. They didn't like wow me in their last playoff performance against the Chargers. They didn't wow me enough for me to say Super Bowl contender. I'm not saying that the Steelers are Super Bowl contenders, and I'm not saying that the Texans are either,
No,
but they didn't do enough for me to say Super Bowl contenders. You
no,
know
they didn't. But I know what I believe in. I
what?
believe in their defense. I
Yes,
believe in
their
that
defense is
defense.
good.
I believe in their coach and Vrabel. You know,
But matter of fact, let me take that back. I'm gonna pick the Patriots over the Texans, but I think Mike Tomlin, the genius future Hall of Fame coach he is, I think he's gonna do enough to beat the Patriots. But I'm gonna pick if the Texans win, I got the Patriots. So I'm gonna say this. I got the Texans if they play the Patriots, and I got the Steelers if they play the Patriots.
Okay.
Okay, so all right. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about basketball. A big trade just happened in the NBA.
Right.
Trae Young to the Washington Wizards. How do you feel about the trade?
Uh, I felt I felt like, huh? I was like, huh? I was talking to my coworkers, and we was just talking about it, and I'm like, he want to go there? He want to go to the Wizards? So
Money.
at first glance, I'm thinking like the Wizards. I'm like, they're horrible. But
Yeah.
but I after time looking at it, I'm like, they do got some pieces there, you know, and they're setting themselves up to get somebody in free agency, and then they can draft another player because this upcoming
Well, it
draft is going to be
depends.
good.
Well, it depends.
Well, it depends on how it's set, how it
Because if
goes.
they
I think,
finish out of the top eight, the Knicks get that
yeah,
pick.
right.
So it
Barring that,
depends.
yeah, barring that, they can get another first round pick to go with what they already have.
But
Um,
when it comes to the Wizards, it's like we talked about this on the phone a lot of
yeah,
times. They have the same
right,
player. They have a bunch of
yeah,
6'5" wings on their team.
yeah. They
You know what
got,
I'm saying? You
yeah.
you got Bub Carrington, you got Bilal. I can't pronounce his last name, but you got
Yeah,
Bilal.
Bilal, yeah.
You got
You got Alex Sarr.
Well, I'm talking about the wings. Alex
Yeah.
Sarr is their centerpiece. He's their
Yeah.
center, I guess. You got Chris Middleton still.
Yeah, he's cooked.
You got Chris Middleton,
He's
and
cooked.
so you have, and then you have I think it's I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Oh, you still got Cam Whitmore. Pray for Cam Whitmore because Cam Whitmore is out because he has blood clots in his shoulders.
Oh
So pray for
yeah,
Cam
pray for
Whitmore.
him. Yeah, for sure.
So even before that, I was confused when they brought him in because I'm like, how many 6'5" wings do you need?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got this. They're the 6'5" wings warehouse.
Right, pretty
You know what I'm
much.
saying? They got more wings than Magic City.
Pretty yeah. Nah, that's
They,
a fact. So I mean, and then like you're getting Trae Young. I understand the GM, like they have past history or whatnot, but I don't I don't believe he's the guy. I don't think he's
Kayshawn
gonna.
George, my fault. I was gonna say Keontae George, but Keontae George is on the Jazz.
Yeah,
Kayshawn George, that's
yeah,
another wing that they got. It's like
yeah. But I don't believe in Trae Young that he's gonna like turn around this franchise. I feel like they just gonna be box office. I think they're gonna just be like Bradley Beal. Like it's just gonna be the Bradley Beal
I'll
era.
say this: Bradley Bill feels a way about him getting number three. Bradley Bill said that they're gonna
Yeah.
hang his jersey in the Raptors one day. How do you feel about that?
He ain't doing nothing.
I mean, that's what he said.
Listen, Bradley Beal, you ain't did shit, yo. So you need to pack it up.
We got cut off. We got to repeat that.
That's what he needs to do.
No, you got to repeat it.
You need to
You
pack it
got cut
up.
off when you said it.
That's what he needs to do.
Yo, you hear me?
Yo. Yeah, I
Yo.
hear you. You
Oh,
feel
now
me?
I said you have to repeat yourself. You got cut off.
Oh, I got cut off. My fault. So now I was saying like Barry Bill, you ain't did shit your whole career. So it's like, what are we retiring for?
He said number
What,
three
we
is gonna
gonna
be in the
retire
Raptors.
losers? We gonna retire losers? That's what we doing? That's what I mean. If you want to do that, I mean, by all means, But
The
I
Wizards have a high standard of their jerseys being retired. You know, Elvin Hayes led the NBA in scoring his rookie year and has a championship for the Wizards.
right,
You know, they was called the Bullets back then, obviously.
yeah,
And you know what I'm saying? He's probably the most underrated power forward ever. The dude was top 10 in scoring for like 30 years all
facts,
time.
yeah,
So so his jersey's retired. That's why Trae Young couldn't wear 11. That's why John Wall couldn't wear number 11. And then
hmm
also, you know, Wes Unseld, NBA champion, NBA Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. Earl the
Yeah.
Pearl Monroe, NBA champion. So the Wizards have a high standard of retired jerseys.
And those are understandable.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
just saying Bradley Beal doesn't really have an argument. That's what I'm saying. They didn't
he
even
doesn't have an
retire Gilbert
argument.
Arenas number.
Yeah, he doesn't have an argument. And I'm like, you ain't did shit since you was with John Wall.
That's a fact. Once John Wall left, it went down. I mean, he had
Yeah,
one good year with Russ, but other than that, it went down.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you was dropping 30, but you was just empty calories. That's all it was. Like, and then like, look, you went to Phoenix. You didn't do nothing there. Then you're on the Clippers. I mean, you got injured, but I mean, shit. Before that, I didn't think he was gonna do anything either. So it's like, come on, bro. Like, let's just pack it up. Let's pack it
Okay.
up. Like, like you got your bag. Shout out to your
He
agent.
has the
I want your
greatest agent
agent.
of all time. I'll say this.
I want your
We need
agent.
his agent.
Yeah,
We need his
yeah.
agent.
I that's all that's all I'm asking for you is that if you give me that, listen, I'll change my statement and then you can get your jersey retired. But until then, your bum ass ain't coming nowhere near the fucking stadium with your jersey retired.
I
All
got you.
right?
Got you.
Listen, you dropped 30. Congratulations. Congrats the fucking legend. But you didn't do shit when it comes to the playoffs or taking your team further, anything like that. You wasn't no real leader. Like John Wall, I believed in John Wall. Feel me? That
Unfortunately,
was
he got injured. He
yeah,
was
and he
great.
just got injured. Like I believed in him. Like he was on both ends. Like he was defending and he was scoring. Like that was a guy. Like I was a fan of him. Like I
Okay.
like John Wall. But Bradley Beal, like you cool and all that stuff, you know. Like you talented, but I feel like you didn't get it done.
Okay. So I'll say this. So since we're talking about it, number 11 in Atlanta, Trae Young. And let me, put the details and the facts on the table before you say this. Trae Young, does he have an argument to get his jersey retired in Atlanta? So
Took him to the conference finals.
let me explain. Let me explain. All right. Dominique Wilkins has his jersey retired in Atlanta, and the furthest that the Hawks ever been to with him was the second round. Dikembe Mutombo has his jersey retired, and the furthest that he's ever been was the second round. And Steve Smith has his jersey retired. Wait, I think Steve Smith has his jersey retired. Let me double check that.
Hmm.
Let me double check that. Have his jersey. Oh no, Steve Smith doesn't have his jersey retired in Atlanta. That's my fault. Um, but Dominique Wilkins, second round. Dikembe Mutombo, second round. The only person in Hawks history that has won a championship is Bob Pettit. Bob Pettit is one of the first all-time greats. He's the first NBA
Right.
player to have 20,000 points. Him, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant are the only players that have at least three All-Star game MVPs. So Bob Pettit is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, even though he played in the 50s and
Yeah, shout out to
60s.
him. Yeah.
He's he's 90 plus years old and he's still outside walking, going to
Yeah.
all his ceremonies, doing podcast interviews. He's still outside. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just
Shout out to him.
it's just crazy with him, the fact that he played in the NBA for like 10 plus years and he had to get a regular job after retiring.
Yeah,
And
that
then
sucks.
meanwhile, you got role players that are getting like 30 million a year. And
Yeah,
Bob Pettit is one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
facts.
He was busting Will Chamberlain's ass and Bill Russell's
He was
ass.
balling. He was
So
balling.
I
He
would
was
say that. So I
balling.
was so that's my argument with Trae Young. Cause I'm like, if you're gonna do it off of team success, he's
No,
been
he took his team to the conference finals. He ended the process.
yeah.
Ice trade, ice trade, like I could see that. I could see that, you know. So if they want to do that for him, I don't know how the relationship is between him and the franchise. I don't know how that went down. Um, I knew it was eventually going to happen once they didn't give him the extension.
Hmm.
Understandably so, because they play better without him.
And also, yes, they went to the conference finals in 2021, but after that, they've been a playing team after that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they got out a couple of years, but most of the time they didn't get out of it.
yeah. Remember when they got DeJounte Murray, and then that
They were
didn't
supposed to be
happen. That didn't work out.
well out, yeah. They were supposed to be up next. They started off the season hot. They was the second seed. They was on the cover of Slam magazine,
Yeah.
and it just never went anywhere.
Yeah. So it's like eventually when you don't get the job done in this NBA, if you don't get the job done, you're going to get traded.
Okay.
You're going to get traded. Once Luca got traded, anybody can get traded.
Well, I'll say this also with Trae Young. Like I said, he hasn't really won. And this is going to be the same thing that's going to happen with Ja Morant next year as well, or even next month
I,
as well,
next month.
because you're not going anywhere with him.
No, you're
They
not.
haven't gone anywhere with Ja Morant, in a while, in probably 3 seasons.
And
They
GMs now they're like, listen, like they're not like waiting or anything like that. They're like, listen, if I don't see it in this play, like, listen, let's get ahead of this. Let's get
yeah
ahead of this and make these moves, you
yeah.
know?
Trae Young was owed 90 million and also was eligible for an extension. That's a lot of money
Yeah,
just to be a
exactly.
seventh seed.
With all these salaries going up and these players making these obscene amount of money is like, listen, like you can't make bad decisions now. You just can't. Because if you do, you're going to set your team back at least a half a decade by making those bad decisions, you know? So, like I said, Atlanta did what was best for them, put them in position to go big name hunting. I
And
know they were
also
looking at
look,
Anthony Davis, but obviously he got hurt. I
yeah, and
mean, he
also
tore his
look at it.
ligament.
Nickel Alexander Walker is averaging 20 plus, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah,
And then Jalen Johnson is averaging 26, whatever, and then whatever.
that's their star.
So, and then, but Nickel Alexander Walker is giving you the same production Trae Young is giving you with like less than 50% of the money. It's
Exactly.
giving you the same production.
Exact, and he can play on both ends. And
And he's taller.
I don't have to hide Trae Young
Yeah.
because in the playoffs it's all about matchups. And if you have Trae Young on the floor, I am going to expose him on the defensive end. I'm going to expose him.
And then also, that's true, but also with him, he's a person. He's a personality. So you have to basically focus on him. You have to center your offense around him when he's on the court.
Yes.
When
Yes.
it's Jalen Johnson and the other guys on the Hawks,
The ball
the ball
moves.
moves more.
The ball definitely moves
So now
and
they just have to see, can they get one more player, and they in the business of being a contender. They need
oh
one more
yeah.
player, and they in the
Yeah,
business of
yeah,
being a
they get one
contender.
more player. I mean, they were looking at Anthony Davis,
Yeah,
until he got injured.
yeah,
But they still, like I said, they put themselves financially in a good position so they can go get somebody, you know.
yeah.
And then I don't know if they draft picks. I don't know if they have their draft picks.
Wait, I think they let's check right now.
Because if they do, like I said, this draft is loaded too.
Yes. This draft is probably going to be up there with one of the best draft classes. Based off the names, we'll see what the production is, but based off the
Yeah,
names and what I've seen in college, this draft is pretty
yeah,
good. This is the
yeah.
most exciting college basketball has been in a while. Probably
Right,
since Lonzo and De'Aaron Fox.
right. So like I said, Atlanta's putting themselves in position. Yes, it's not the sexiest,
Yeah, so basically they have the Pelicans
but
pick.
it's what needs to be done.
Yeah, they have the Pelicans pick because the Pelicans traded their pick away for Derek Queen. So yeah, so they have their pick.
Right.
They have their pick.
Honestly, they good.
Which is crazy because now the Pelicans don't have a pick.
Yeah, well, the Pelicans is a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, the Pelicans don't have a pick.
I mean, when Zion is healthy, he's all world, but the thing
They
is
still
he just
haven't.
don't be
He's been
healthy.
playing, but they still haven't had any. They still don't have double-digit wins.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, and the thing is, he been on the trading block, just like Trae Young. He been on the trading block.
Oh,
The
he's
problem,
he's he's on the trading block next year, this
I,
summer.
well,
Like I said,
I'm saying that he been on it. The problem is that nobody really wanted
but
him
the but
because of the
also people
injuries.
say you couldn't get more for Trae Young, but I'm like his value isn't as high as it used to be.
No, it's
You know what
not.
I'm
It's
saying?
not.
You have to just get what you can get for him. And
Yeah.
also, you look at it. Same thing with John Morant. John Morant's value is not that high
No, it's
because
not.
you know maybe
He
three
can't
years
shoot.
ago you could probably trade him for like a big name, but you can't really do that no more with him. So it's like
No,
you can only get what you can get because every team, if you could look at it and say even, they're not trading their best guard for him. The Knicks
they're
aren't
not.
trading Jalen Brunson for
Hell
John
no.
Morant.
Hell no.
The Knicks,
I'll smack the GM of the Knicks if they do something like that.
the Pistons aren't trading Cade Cunningham
Hell
for
no.
John Morant.
Hell no.
I don't even think the Cavaliers would trade Darius Garland for John Morant.
Uh,
Maybe,
that's in the conversation.
maybe.
That's
Okay,
that's
Darius Garland.
debatable. That's debatable.
So
But
Cleveland Cavaliers. So Cleveland Cavaliers, John Morant and Donovan Mitchell. Does that win a championship?
nah, it doesn't.
Okay, and so then also the Pacers aren't trading Tyrese Halliburton
Hell
for
no.
John Morant.
Hell no.
The San Antonio Spurs aren't trading De'Aaron Fox for John Morant.
I'm not trading Dylan Harper for him. I'm not trading Stephon Castle for him.
But I'm just talking about starting point guards.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm going through their whole
Maybe the
depth.
Hornets would trade LaMelo Ball for John Morant.
But I think that's the same shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only trade that makes sense.
That's the same shit. And I mean,
And
Lamelo's
the
on the
Lakers
trading
aren't
block
trading
too.
Luca for John Morant.
Nope. Nope.
I don't even the Chicago trade Josh Giddey for John Morant? Or
Hell
do
no.
they trade Kobe White for John Morant?
I would just say from logistics standpoint, John Morant don't need to be in Chicago. Let's just keep it real, like outside of basketball. So I hope to God for his safety that he doesn't get traded there. But
The Sixers aren't trading Tyrese Maxey for John Morant.
I don't know.
I think the Raptors would trade Emmanuel quickly for John Morant though.
But even then, like what we doing?
That's a big that low key you could say that's a big four. Ja, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, RJ.
I don't know. All right. For Toronto's sake, I would say keep what you got.
Because they tried to get Trae Young too.
I know they tried.
But the
Atlanta
Hawks
Kirk.
didn't want Emmanuel quickly.
Nah, because they didn't because you have to pay quickly.
He signed
You're
an
going to have
extension
to pay
already
him. But I'm just saying, eventually you're going to have to pay him after the extension.
in
I
three
don't think they
years.
believed in him.
In three
Yeah, I
years.
don't think they. Yeah, but I don't think they believed in him.
Okay.
They're like that. They want to like put him there.
Or the
So
will the Orlando Magic trade Jalen Suggs for John Morant?
no, because the thing is that
Him and
albeit
Derek Bane are
Jalen,
friends.
I understand that, but it's like Jalen Suggs, like albeit he's not great offensively. Um,
He's starting to knock down
but
threes this season though.
yes, he is, but but for the record for his career, he hasn't been the best offensively, but he gives it on the defensive end. John Morant doesn't do that. It's
Mhm.
just offense with him. And the thing is he can't shoot. And when we get into the playoffs, and that's the issue. This is the reason why they got Bane to shoot. Why are they going to go bring another player that can't shoot? It's just like
That's what
what
but
we doing?
I'm just talking about John Morant's value because
Yeah,
I don't
it doesn't make sense. It's there's not that many places he can go. I
their
mean,
their duo was probably the most underachieving duo that we've seen in the last 6 years. Jaren
that's a
Jackson
fact.
Jr. and John Morant.
That's a fact. That's a
Because
fact. They chose Jaren Jackson. They gave him the bag, and then they were like,
and let's see if they give it to John Morant
they're
this
not
summer.
giving him. They're not giving him shit.
Okay, so
They're not
John
giving
Morant's
him
gonna get
nothing.
traded just like Trae Young.
Yeah,
But it's like who? Who are you gonna get? Like CJ McCollum made sense because the salaries matched.
right.
There's not a lot of veterans that
Listen,
have that. Like, I mean, what you gonna do? John Morant for Dame in Portland?
nah,
And I feel like the
I
way
wouldn't do that.
Portland is playing, they're up there. You bring Dame, they can be a top five team next year.
Yeah, and they still got Drew Holiday too.
Yeah, so I don't think that makes sense.
Nah, I mean, like I said, the only trade that makes sense is sending him to Miami.
Ja Morant in Miami.
Yep.
Miami, Milwaukee makes sense too.
In Milwaukee too, but I mean, Mil- see, all right, so if you do trade him to Milwaukee, it's like is this is you trying to persuade Giannis to stay. I don't think that's enough.
And Boston's not trading him for Derek White or Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen them little stupid trade that ideas or whatever case may be. I like I ain't nobody doing that.
Oh,
But yeah, I think the only trade that makes sense is to send them to Miami. And you
for
could
who?
send them there for
For
either
Wiggins?
Tyler Hero. I say Tyler
Nah,
Hero.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that for Miami. It would probably have to be like Wiggins and Norman Powell for Ja
Or you
Morant.
could do that. You could do that. You could
Yeah,
do that
yeah.
as
Because
well. I mean,
you want to have the big three of Bam, Hero, and Ja. It looks good on paper.
yeah, you could do that.
That's a hell of a
So
luxury tax though.
it is. It is. But I mean,
So you would have to trade Tyler Hero.
Miami be is thirsty for quote unquote star. So
Is Ja
that's
Morant still
only
that guy?
I think it's I think it's gone. I think
Okay.
it's gone.
Yeah, I feel like
I,
there's a lot of point guards that jumped over Ja Morant in the last 3 years. Jalen
yeah,
Brunson and Kate
yeah,
Cunningham and Tyrese Halliburton.
yeah. That's the three. That's the three in my eyes, you know.
And I still think a healthy Dame is better than Ja Morant.
It is. And I believe in him and I know what I'm gonna get out of him.
Yeah.
He's a
CJ McCollum was the
professional.
only CJ McCollum was the easiest swap.
Yeah.
And he's
That's
gonna do good things for the Hawks.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's also being a star, you have to be a leader as well, and leader on the court and off the court. And at this moment, we can't say that about Ja.
Kyrie for Ja. Kyrie
Um,
don't want to go to no Memphis.
he definitely don't want to go to Memphis, but I don't think he ain't gonna have no say in this anyway. So, but I'm just looking at it. You could throw him on Dallas.
Okay.
You could
I'm
throw him
just
on
thinking of
Dallas.
like team scenarios. You
You
know,
could throw
Fred
him on
Van
Dallas because
Fleet
they're young. So they're young and but it's gonna be tough because you're gonna him and Cooper. I mean, it's gonna sell tickets.
must see TV. That lob is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna sell tickets though. But is it gonna work? I
So what
don't
is
think
his value? Because we named a bunch of teams and we're like confused on Ja's value. Because
his
this is
value.
so basically the
You
Trey
want to know
Young
what his
sweeps.
value is?
What?
You want to know what his value? His value is a box of Girl Scout cookies. That's what his shit is.
All right.
That's what his value is, and that's
Okay.
why we having problems right now. That's why we debating this and trying to figure out where we gonna put this motherfucker at. We
Because
don't
it's
know where to
basically
put
the
him at.
Trey Young sweepstakes. Because what Trey Young is going through right now, John Morant's going to go through this next season, and then
Yeah,
LaMelo Ball is going to go through it the season after.
yeah, yeah. Listen. GM, like I said before, GMs are looking at like, yo, these stars are getting paid all this money and they are not getting the job done. They 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 just collecting checks and doing bullshit. Just doing bullshit. They're not taking it serious. And we're seeing it, you know? So it's like you could tell who's not working on their craft. You could tell that like people are not caring, and not being professionals on and off the court, you know, and that stuff matters. You get all that money is to perform on the court and also off the court, be a leader in the locker room, you know. Don't you're supposed to set an example for the other players under you, and can we say that about LaMelo Ball? Can we say
And
that
if
about
you
John
look at
Morant?
LaMelo Ball's team on paper, they're not bad.
They're not. They're
And they
not.
just dropped
And
150 points against Utah.
and that's the problem. They're not bad, but look at where they are.
The
That's
Wizard,
the
like
issue.
the Wizards were bad before the Trey Young trade. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
Pelicans are bad.
Yeah.
they have a lot of valuable players. Like Trey Murphy's
Trey
valuable, and
Murphy,
also
yeah,
Herb
he
Jones is
had 40
valuable.
against the Lakers. So I mean, like he's valuable, you know. Herb Jones, I like him two-way.
Hmm.
Um,
They're
so
probably
like
going to both be Pistons. I think they're going to be in the Pistons at the deadline.
Bird.
Yeah, because I feel like they want to unload Tobias Harris.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, like shout out to Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris
so so I feel like
over me.
Trey Murphy and Herb Jones for Tobias Harris.
Yeah,
That could help them.
yeah.
So, so I
The
don't know.
Knicks need to go get
We
them.
don't
The
know
Knicks
Ja
need to
Morant's
go get
value.
them.
We basically just had a 15-minute conversation. We don't even know Ja Morant's value.
No, we don't. I told you what his value is. It's a box of Girl Scout cookies, and not the good ones,
Dang. All right,
not the
all right.
Samoas.
So we're 40 games in NBA season. Who are your biggest surprises and your biggest disappointments? I know we said this last episode, but we're in halfway through the season. So like, who are your biggest surprises and the biggest disappointments?
The disappointments for me is obviously it's the Dallas Mavericks.
Think so?
Yeah,
Because
because
they're in the top. They're in the play-in.
they're in the playing, but before the NBA season, we had other media outlets that had them projected that they were going to go far into the
They was gonna
playoffs.
win the West. That's
They're
what I
going to
heard.
win the West and all that stuff. Like they're going to say, "Watch out! You got AD, you got Coop, you got Kyrie coming back. You got Clay. You know." So it's like, come
Clay,
on,
really? Clay.
hey, they
Have you
said
seen
it.
him play basketball the last 3 seasons?
Hey, you said, yeah. Listen, I was the first one out here that said that Clay
You
was
definitely
cooked.
was. 4 years ago, you said
I
Clay
knew
is
boy was
cooked.
cooked.
You
I
said
knew
four
boy
years
was
ago Clay
cooked.
was cooked.
Yeah, he was done. He was done. But like I said, I would say as a loser, the Clippers, you know, with
They're
them,
rising.
they're rising. But my
They're
same
like
issue
seven
that
and three in their last 10.
my same issue is that Kawhi is basically turning into playoff Kawhi, you know, and he's using that in the regular season. And you do that consistently, you're gonna wear him down. And he's already not built for a regular season plus postseason. So you're overusing your best player, and he's gonna break down. And then James Harden ain't showing up. And then obviously
They,
Bradley Beal's not here, But
well,
even if he was here, he wasn't gonna do nothing for you anyway,
they
you know.
beat the Pistons without Cade and Jalen Duran.
Yeah, you
Also,
got that. You got that. And then my other one is the Bucks, you know?
I wasn't really high on the Bucks, but
Yeah, I
that's your okay.
yeah, I'm no, the thing is that um I wasn't either, but I knew the expectations. Like they had to do something. And with this roster, they haven't done anything and they're trying to keep Giannis.
Yeah.
Uh,
But you got Doc Rivers as a coach. What has Doc Rivers done as a
Well,
coach?
that's Doc Rivers. I mean, listen, this season was over once you got Doc Rivers as your coach. But my whole thing, the reason why that I say that they didn't perform is because you're trying to keep your star. You're trying to keep your star. So like to that standard, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Basically you got Giannis stressed out right now, and he's not the type. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. We all know that he needs to leave. We all know that. And he knows that. But he doesn't want to say it. But I'll say it for him. The Bucks need to trade him. Let him go. Let him go. I need
But
to
who are you
redo this.
see? Now that's a trade. He is a value. Teams will give up
Yes,
their franchise player for him. Like
exactly.
the Knicks will give up Cat for Giannis.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Straight up.
saying? Like you could get stuff for him. The
Exactly.
the Oklahoma City Thunder will give up Chet for Giannis.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? With Ja,
Exactly.
I don't see that.
Nah, I don't. Like I said, Girl Scout cookies, man. Girl Scout.
Okay, so
That's
those are
it.
your threes.
Yes, sir.
Who are your success stories?
Um, I would say, unfortunately, I don't like even saying this, but I would say Toronto. I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming.
They got four dudes that can get 20 points.
Scotty Barnes. I listen. I might have to give you an apology. You know. I might have to give you an apology, man. I don't like saying this, but Russ been playing well. Been playing well. Brandon Ingram, I always knew about Brandon Ingram, so
Yeah,
that's nothing new.
he just couldn't stay
BI,
on the court.
yeah, that's the only thing. He just gotta be healthy, Barrett, and them boys. So like I said, that's the one for me personally. Everything else I kind of already saw. Like everything else I kind of saw. That's my surprise is them.
Okay, my surprises, my disappointments. I mean, they just did the trade, the Washington Wizards, because it's like it's the same thing every year.
The fuck are you doing
It's
with it?
like we talked about it earlier. They have a bunch of wings. It's like they don't even compete. They always start. They've been starting off the season like 2-11 for like the
Yeah,
last 6 years.
right,
Not 6 years, but like the last 4 years. You know what
right.
I mean? And also, when I was talking about the wings, you traded for Cam Whitmore. You drafted Trey Johnson, who's a pretty good basketball player
Yeah,
who
you can
had a
shoot.
couple of good games so far. You have Bub Carrington, you got Bilal, you got Kayshawn George, you got Chris Middleton. That's six wings.
Yeah,
It's like, what is their foundation? What is their
yeah,
lineup?
yeah. I don't know what their GM is doing.
And then you bring
I
in
don't
Trae
know.
Young. So now you have Trae Young. Who's your starting shooting guard? Who's your starting small forward? Who's your starting power forward? And who's your center?
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be Trey and Johnson.
What?
Trey and Johnson in the
Yeah,
backcourt.
Trey Johnson just started to start. He just had 19 points his last game. So you got Alex Sarr. So basically, their starting lineup is obviously is going to be Trae Young at the point guard. Trae
Yeah,
Young, Trey Johnson.
yeah,
You got Chris Middleton and Kayshawn George. So you have two small forwards and two shooting guards before the Trae Young trade and Alex Sarr. That's their starting lineup.
yeah. And like I said, like Chris Middleton's cooked. That boy cooked.
But they're gonna sell it. They're gonna sell it. Chris Middleton and Trae Young. They're gonna sell it.
Yeah, you can sell it. You can sell it. I ain't buying it though.
Chris Middleton is averaging 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists on 42% from the field this season.
Cooked.
Okay. So yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't know where the Wizards are going. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're going. It's more like you selling hope and you trying to sell tickets instead of like you truly trying to figure out a way to get yourself to somewhat of
Yeah,
relevancy.
it's like every season. It's like
I don't know the game plan. I don't know the plan. I don't know the plan.
I really don't know what the Wizards are doing. You got Trey
I
Young,
don't know. I
but
don't
what
know.
are you
I don't
doing with it? There's no free agent that's gonna come there.
No, it's
You have
not.
to overpay.
People didn't come there when they had John Wall
Well,
and
then
Bradley
again, their
Beal.
backcourt was like 90% of their salary.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like they couldn't, like people didn't. I'm just saying, like people weren't willing to go to Washington to even take a pay cut to go there.
Because they was all going to Cleveland to play with LeBron.
Exactly. So it's like, come on, like nobody's going over there.
So these are
You have
these
to
are the free
draft
agents. These are the free agents for 2026. And will these guys help the Wizards? LeBron, he's probably gonna go somewhere else.
or retire.
Zach Levine, Zach Levine can opt out.
Jack Levine is done too. He
I
ain't
mean,
doing
obviously
no
Trey Young
more.
can opt out, but I don't think he's gonna opt out. That would be the most diabolical thing ever. If he opts out and signs somewhere else,
I mean, honestly,
that would be diabolical.
you say that, but I think eventually he could look at it like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? What am I doing legacy wise? Like you like what are you going to do with this team? You know? And you're gonna have to have that conversation with yourself. Like, what do you want to be known for? What is your legacy? What is
Can Can Austin Reeves and Trae Young do something in the backcourt in Washington, D.C.?
You said Austin Reeves.
I'm asking you. You say he's an all-star.
He is an all-star.
But if he opts out and decides to go to Washington to play with Trae Young, can that backcourt do something?
Hell no.
Okay, just asking because you was talking about all-star.
He is. He is. He
So if he's an
is. He got my
all-star, why
vote.
can't him and Trae Young do something?
You need more pieces. You
Okay,
need more people.
okay.
Jay-Z boys.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. DeAndre Ayton, no. Zaire Williams, no. D'Lo, no. Al Horford, no.
There ain't nobody.
Yabusele, no.
There ain't nobody. Like I said, you're gonna have to go
Ooh,
to the draft and you're gonna have to
Jalen
you're gonna
Durant's getting an extension this summer, right?
yeah.
Okay. But I'm saying I'm not saying that it's gonna do anything, but you got Trae Young, Austin
Yeah.
Reeves, you got Kayshawn George, is a 6'8" with 7'2" wingspan, and then you got Alex Sarr, and then you bring in a big, maybe bring in like a Dwight Powell or I'm tr- I'm trying to sell the Wizards right now.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing better than the marketing team,
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm still ain't buying that.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's not really no free agents.
It's really not. They want you listen,
Okay,
they made their
nah.
trade. They made their trade when they went and got Trey.
Kristaps Porzingis, and then bring Kristaps Porzingis
Stop it.
to the Wizards.
Stop it. Stop it. First of all, he's not even healthy.
That's a fact. Oh, I know somebody. John Collins and Trae Young played great together in Atlanta.
They did. They did.
So
I mean, if you
They're
want to bring
probably
your
going to
old
get John
buddies,
Collins because they got the GM.
yeah.
They're probably going to get John Collins.
Yeah, you could bring your old buddies and all that stuff. I mean, James Harden brought all his buddies too, and you see how that went.
Who you said? I didn't hear you.
I said James Harden brought all his buddies before. Remember when he brought his guys when they brought him to Philly? I
Yeah.
was like, you could do the same shit. Listen, that you could bring him to a different location, but it's gonna be the same shit.
Caldwell Pope.
I mean, shout out to KCP, man. Shout out to
You could
KCP. I
bring
like
him.
KCP. I forgot that name of that rapper. That rapper got beef for him.
He got beef with him and Cat.
Hell yeah. I was like, God damn.
Ooh, Mitchell Robinson. Robert Williams.
Robert Williams, Robert Williams is I mean, he's decent. He just gotta be healthy.
And then you could have a backup. You could bring in a backup like a Mike Conley or Alonzo. Or if you don't feel like
Mike
paying for
Conley is
if you don't feel like paying
cooked.
for him, Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is gonna opt out and get a lot of money this summer. So I don't think he's gonna be a Laker next season.
No, I think he's gonna get the bag. I think he's gonna get the
He's going to the
bag.
Wizards.
I think he's gonna get the bag. Yeah,
I think he's
200
going to the
plus.
Wizards.
I think he's gonna get 200.
I think he's going to the Wizards or he's gonna go to Portland.
Yeah, he's gonna
Nah, he can't go to Portland because you got Drew Holiday and Dame. And you got Denny Avia, who's low key could be an all-star this year.
yeah. I mean, like I said, we'll see.
Yeah, but I would say Austin Reeves and bring Austin Reeves and then bring John Collins back to play with you. Maybe get Colin Sexton as a backup and then trade a couple of those young pieces and they could do
And
something. I don't know what they could
you
do,
got a
but
lot, listen, you got a lot of wings. So I mean, like you said,
Chris,
but the thing is, do they have enough value so you could do something? You
I just
could
want to know what
trade.
OKC is going to do with Hartenstein
Mm,
because it's a club option, it's a team option. He has a team option.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you, but then again, he's making 30 million a year, so
it is.
would you bring him to DC if OKC decides to move on from him?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so Hartenstein's a possibility. I think they're gonna keep
I
him
don't
because
think
he's
they're
the
gonna
X
get
factor to
him.
winning the championship.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get him. 'Cause I think, yeah,
So it's hard. And I don't think you bring in Harrison Barnes.
nah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. But
Yeah, I don't know about that.
we tried. We tried. I tried. Okay.
You could try. I
Um,
mean, you trying better than their GM.
yeah.
I give
All
you
right, but
that.
let's talk about NIL, college. How do you feel about NIL?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, like I said, we opened up Pandora's box.
I love it.
Um, with that, I mean, shout out to them getting their money. They deserve it. You know, the
Yeah.
kids deserve it, money.
Yeah. I feel
Like I
like if
said,
you're
they
making
making money
billions,
off of them.
sorry. I feel like if
Yeah,
you're making billions of dollars off of these kids, they should get a piece
yeah,
of the pie.
exactly. They should get money.
Yeah,
Now,
like
listen, they opened up the Pandora's box because it should they should have been had this structured. So you already was giving them money. So right now it's like a free for all. It's a wild wild west right now.
shout out to
So
LeVar Ball.
yeah,
LeVar Ball is the reason why NIL exists.
yeah. So it's
Remember when
like
LeVar Ball created
yeah.
his JBA basketball league?
Mm-hmm.
Kids were opting out of college to go to play in that. Kids were opting out of college to go to the G League.
Yeah.
So they had to do something
Get
because,
in the bag.
G League was taking all of the top prospects. Jonathan Kuminga went to the G League. Jalen
Yeah.
Green went to the G League.
Right.
Mattis Bezinkas from the Chicago Bulls went to the G League instead of going to college. So
Right.
they was taking all the best players. So it was bound to
Right.
happen. So it was like either you adapt or you lose all your money.
Exactly. Exactly.
In terms of basketball, because
Yeah.
football,
I
there's
don't
no
yeah.
alternative for football, but
Yeah, facts. Facts. Like I said, NIL, I don't have a problem with it.
I
Like I
love
said,
it.
they deserve the money. They deserve the money. Now, do we need to put some structure behind it?
Absolutely.
I think we need to put some structure behind it, but I knew like, listen, they've been starving. They've been starving for this. Like I said,
hmm
like you've been not giving them money, so they had to do illegal things, quote unquote, by
Yeah.
taking money from boosters or whatever case may be, you know, so they could, feed their families or whatever case may be,
Look at
and
the
just
Fab
live.
Five.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The Fab
saying.
Five. Chris Webber. Chris Webber lied on the stand,
Facts.
but the fact that he had to lie on the stand and the
It's
fact that
crazy.
he lost his college career because he took a couple of dollars from somebody while he was in college.
Yeah,
I look at the Fab Five like this. If NIL existed when those kids were in college, oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it would have been
That
crazy.
would have been $1 billion brand. They
Yeah,
changed the game.
yeah.
They were the first group of, they weren't the first people, but they was the first popular people to bring the baggy shorts to the game. They were
Mm-hmm.
the first people that had black Nike socks
Right.
because before that, all the kids wore the same shoes. They wore white Nike socks and they wore team shoes.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose and them were like the first dudes to wear like non-team shoes on the court. They was wearing Jordans. They were wearing Deion Sanders.
Right.
They was basically marketing Nike for
Yeah.
free.
They were doing their thing. They were doing their thing. So like I said, like I don't have a problem with the NIL. It just has to have some structure into it
And
because
also,
like is it because it's out of control right now. It's
I
out of
also
control.
also the transfer portal too. It has to have some type of structure because
Yeah.
they have no adversity. Because the minute a kid doesn't like a situation, he just
They out of
transfers.
there. They out of there. Just quit. So we got so now we are basically setting up players to be like, yo, if I go if I come against any little bit of adversity, I could just leave. So basically creating quitters.
Yeah,
Unless the public likes quitters. I don't. I don't.
yeah,
I'm not saying that you got wherever you be at, you have to stay there forever, whatever case may be. But I'm just saying, like, listen, there's gonna be adversity, just like yeah, there's gonna come times in your life when you're gonna be going through things or whatever case may be, and that's your opportunity to persevere and rise above the obstacles, and that's why we call certain plays, and hold them in high regards, I should say. Like we look at Jordan, look at Cole, you know, those type of players, like, you know, they went through criticism, obstacles, and they stood with their team. They didn't just leave, you know. They stood with their team through it all, you know. ups and
Yeah.
downs. And if you're doing that at college, I think that's a red flag. I think it's a red flag. If I'm a professional team, I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah.
Like, why
And
are you leaving? And
I
then and then not just leaving one team, you leaving multiple teams. Like you just hopping. Pause.
yeah.
But you just team hopping.
You basically like girls in sections.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Whoever got the Don Julio, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Remember I almost got jumped when we was in
Yeah,
Harbor
facts.
because there was a girl and she was dancing with me and she jumped out of another section to come to our section because we had Don
Oh,
Julio and those
yeah.
dudes were surrounding me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I peeped that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
And then I
They
was
ain't
like,
gonna touch you though.
I wasn't scared and I just looked, I was like, look, I ain't
They
know.
wasn't gonna touch you.
She jumped in our section. She was just like,
Yeah.
yo, you got Don Julio over there? I was like, maybe. She said, they don't got shit over here. I was like, damn.
Yeah. And that's how it is. And we shouldn't um basically set up this type of environment where it's okay to do that, you know?
Hmm.
Because like I said, it's just we're basically accepting this type of behavior, and that
Yeah.
behavior is going to transfer to the pros, and that's not going to be good.
But most of these kids who do all that don't get drafted.
Yeah.
I look at it like this. If you got it, you got it. It don't matter what school you go to. If you got it, you
Yeah.
got it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? AJ is not transferring. He about to
No.
be a top 3 pick.
No.
Daryl Peterson isn't transferring. He's about to be a top
Cameron
5
Boozer,
pick.
yeah, Boozer ain't
Cameron
transferring.
Boozer not doing all of that because he about to
Yeah.
be a top 5 pick. Um, the kid Caleb Wilson from North Carolina, he about to be a top 5 pick. He
Yeah.
ain't doing all that. I
Right.
just feel like if you got it, you got it. But obviously, there's always situations where you can go to a different situation and it could be a better situation. But there's some people that go to a situation, then they go to another situation, they go to another situation. I feel like if
Yeah,
you go into three
if you
situations,
hop in, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's not the school, it's
Not
you.
it. Yeah, yeah, that's not it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
but
crazy.
I love NIL. I love it.
Yeah, get your money.
Get the money,
Get your money.
get the
I'm all
advertisements.
for um for the young people getting their bread. Get their
Yeah,
bread.
and it's
Just
their money.
just save their bread. Just save their bread and use it wisely, you know?
Yeah. And they
That's
don't and
all.
they get their little stipend so they can, spend their money, get their money
Yeah,
so they don't have to they can buy their food, they can have a place to stay.
exactly. And you should and just invest it. Just invest it wisely in that because that helps out people that are not gonna go pro,
Yeah,
you know? So
look at the kid that went to North Carolina who did like 5 years. He did five
yeah.
years in North Carolina
Yeah, I'll stay my ass in school
and
if I can get an NIL
and he
deal.
bought hotels. And he
Yeah,
bought hotels and he owns hotels.
that's what I'm saying, and that's perfectly fine. And that's the beauty of NIL. You out here creating, um, people creating the opportunity for these young adults
Yeah.
that are coming out of school,
Yeah.
so they have opportunities. So like I don't have a problem with it.
You
Yes,
go to
they have to
college to
have
better
structure.
yourself. You go to college to better yourself. And
Yeah,
now they can better themselves.
yeah. You got a degree and now you have money. So now you have the opportunity to invest it and into whatever you are passionate about. And that's what it's all about, you know,
Yeah.
being able to, have money and be able to use it however you want to use it, you know.
Yeah. But I love it. I love it. Get their money. They've been
Get your money.
slaving. People used to call it the NCAA modern day slavery.
It
These kids
was.
was making money. The kids weren't making money. And if they accepted some type of money, they lose their eligibility. So
Yeah.
the fact that these kids now are making money off their name, like an image, that's good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Instead of having to rely on somebody, hey, I could go get this advertisement. I can go get this bag from Nike because of my name and not because of the school I go to. So it's good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
So,
love it too, man.
keep on getting the money and you have to in order to evolve you have to adapt to the environment and the
Yes, sir.
NCAA did a good job because they was on the verge of losing a lot of money because all of the top prospects were foregoing college and going to the G League or going overseas or and playing basketball and then declaring for the draft and not going to college at all. But
Right.
so with NIL, it brings excitement back to college basketball because now you got kids staying in college for 4 years. The top freshmen are playing again. So it's
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah, I
It's
don't have a
cool.
problem.
All right. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about something else besides sports. All right. Let's talk about relationships. Okay,
Here we
2026.
go.
2026,
Here
2026.
we go.
So, you
It's
you
about
be
that time.
outside. You be outside. How is dating like in 2026 for Avery?
Um, I mean, I feel like it's tough, feel me? Because like I feel like in this era it's very transactional. So you really don't know like if she wants you for you or she just wants you because you got money, you know? So and I feel like nowadays both men and women they're using social media as the barometer of how a relationship should be, you know, instead of like looking at other positive role models, like I would say for me it would be like my parents, like 4 years of marriage, like that's something that I aspire to, and we don't have that. We don't have that. We got a lot of broken homes, uh, and unfortunately, so and that comes with a lot of trauma, unfortunately. So right now dating is hard to find a woman that's on your speed, that that you can click with and you could grow with. 'Cause I feel like relationships is all about growing together. Nobody's a finished product. Um, and you gotta put the work in. And I feel like similar to like what we were talking about last topic with NIL, with these players is that like whenever they go against any like problems or adversity, you just leave. And I feel like the same thing in relationships. Like once they see any little thing, they just run away, instead of trying to work at something, you know, because any relationship you're gonna have ups and downs. So we can't just always talk about the good times. You gotta also be able to work through the bad times. I'm not saying like nothing crazy, like nothing like disrespectful to the point where like you need to leave that situation because it's toxic. I'm not talking about toxic thing. I'm talking about things that you can work over and you can communicate and you can build through. And I feel like in today's era, um, on both sides, men and women, um, they're not willing to do that, and that's why we having failed relationships over and over again. You know, so yeah, it's tough. It's tough right now. But I mean, um, I'm optimistic that hopefully dating for me that I could be in a relationship because that's what I want. You want to build um with your partner, with your woman, and build towards marriage because that's the end goal for me. Feel me? I'm like I said, I think me and you, I think we did everything, as single men. I think it's time to like settle down and build with one person and and basically, you know, make it to marriage and just build a life together. I think that's what it's all about. True happiness, being with your person, and that's something that I want, you know.
Okay, so I ask you this. What's the difference between standards and expectations in your relationship or your future relationship?
Oh, your standards, well, standards is stuff that you're not budging on. Like this is the standard. This is like non-negotiable. This is what we're doing. Expectations, these are what expectations is basically what you um think you should already have, you know. Once I get to this point with you, this is what I think both of us should have, or what she should have, or what I should have, I think that's the difference between expectations and the standard, you know. Because the standard is like your non-negotiables. Um, whatever that is, that's different for each person.
What
But
are your non-negotiables?
I would say my non-negotiables is. person that does not communicate, um, bad hygiene, someone that drinks a lot. Um, I think for me, it's someone that it can't communicate. Um, I can't deal with that. That's something big for me. It's all about communication. Just being on one accord. That's very important to me with communication. Um, someone that smokes cigarettes, I I, I can't do that. Um, but other than that, um, those are my main ones for the non-negotiables. Other than that, I feel like now I used to have a big ass list. I'm not even gonna
I
hold you.
know.
I used to have, and you could attest to, I used to have a big
No.
ass list. So like I have done better like through therapy, and just self-reflecting things of that nature. So be able to just consolidate the list to what it is right now, you know, and just meeting people where they're at, and understanding. That's something that I was working on myself. Just meeting people where they're at and just understand that nobody's perfect and I'm not perfect. So there's things that I need to work on as well. So, alongs, those non-negotiables, those are mine. But other than that, I feel like anything else you could work through, um, or you could have a conversation about. Um, oh yeah, and then another one is just like not being kind. That's or being thoughtful or being able to reciprocate. That's another one. I forgot to mention that one. But other than that, like I feel like everything else you could talk to, have a conversation with, and it depends on her energy, you know, towards that, you know. But those are mine for me. But what about you?
So, oh, okay. Me, my non-negotiables is she has to have a good personality. She can't have a bad personality, a bad
Right.
attitude. She has to have good hygiene. And other
Yes.
than that, I'm cool. She basically all I want is somebody that has a good personality and somebody that doesn't have bad hygiene. Because I feel like as us, as human beings, if you believe in God, you believe that God created everybody different and everybody has a different personality. But
Yeah.
if you don't believe in God, you believe in, you kind of like believe more in science. You believe in genetics and chromosomes and different type of things that we
Hmm.
have that other people don't have. You're the
Yeah.
only person in DNA, you're the only person that exists. You're the
Right.
only you that exists in this world.
Right.
So I feel like, you know, there's something that I can bring to that person's life and that person can bring to my life. I can learn something that I didn't know and that person can teach me something. So, I mean,
Right.
and I can teach that person something. So I feel like
Exactly.
we're all different, as long as
Yeah.
you have good hygiene and you have a good personality and don't have a bad attitude and toxic behavior, I'm
Yeah.
pretty
No
much
toxic
cool.
behavior.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty much cool, like honestly, because like I said, we all different. You know,
Yeah, we're all different,
what
and
I like, what
I
I
feel like
like,
I
you
agree.
might not like.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. And like I said, life is, you know, a feeling process. You gotta feel your way through it. So like I said, like toxic behavior, like we can't have
We too
that.
old for that.
Yeah, we can't
We
have
too
that.
old for that.
We grown. We grown
Yeah, I'm
at
too
this
old.
point.
I'm too old to
I
be
don't got time for
getting
that.
getting blocked because I didn't answer a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's
And then you
crazy.
talking about, oh, you could have emailed me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember past relationships like a girl would say that like why didn't you call me? Why didn't you email me? I'm like what?
Email?
Email. I'm
I
like,
barely check my email at work. What you mean?
yeah, it's like
No, I'm capping. I'm capping work. If you're
I'm,
listening, I'm
I-
capping work.
I'm like what? I'm like email. I was like if you block me, I'm not emailing you.
Want me to fucking send a postcard?
They want you to go, yeah, it's like it's more performative, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not with the games. I'm not with the games. It's like I like you, you like me.
What we
It
doing?
gotta be mutual,
That's a fact.
and we gotta keep that energy like mutual. That I have respect for you, you got respect for me. So it's like I respect your time, you respect my time. So it's like we basically gotta be on the same page. You gotta be on one accord. with everything that you and said person does, and that's how you build, and like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, but you want to just build good habits and you want to learn. You want to be able to learn from your partner and you want to be able to teach your partner. Like I want to be able to teach my woman, like new things and like better her, you know, and then vice versa. I want someone that can better myself as well. Cause like you shouldn't be the only one like helping out and like bettering them and they not helping you, you know,
hmm
'cause that becomes a
So,
liability.
all right. So, what do you feel about independence versus dependence in a relationship?
Um,
Yeah, we get deep today. No Diddy, but
Pause.
I said no Diddy. We get deep
I know,
today
I know. But independence as like
versus
as an
dependence.
independence. So you talking about independence in terms of like when women say I'm an independent woman and I don't need
No, I
nothing
would
from
say
you,
so. I would say
or
independence versus dependence. So I would say dependence is like, oh, I need, you need me to say A, B, and C so you could do this. You're depending on me for certain things. Independence is I don't have to say it, or she doesn't have to say it. I already know the vibes. So like
mm,
that would be independence in a relationship in terms of the connection. Like I don't have to you don't have to remind me to say that I love you. Like somebody shouldn't have to remind me. Dependence is like I have to remind you to say that, I love you. You have to remind me, or vice versa, or you have to remind me that it's your birthday. That would be dependence.
but how you break it down like that? That's why I wanted the clarity. Dependence, how you detailed it. I was like, nah, you can't have that in a relationship, in my opinion. I feel like you should already know those things. And if you're really into that person, um I'm gonna know your birthday. I'm gonna know your favorite color. I'm gonna know like what makes you upset, what makes you happy, you know. And know the little things and take pride in that, It's not a chore. It's something that I enjoy to do because I want to make my partner happy, you know. So that and that's it really just comes down to how much you really want this, how much you really want that person, you know, and choosing that person every day, you know. So that and then that's part of a relationship. Listen, relationships is not all the glitz and glamour.
And then
Feel me?
also,
It's not the IG posts. It's not just that. It's the behind the scenes, like when she gets on your nerves, how do you combat that? How do you deal with that? Or how he gets on her nerves. How does she combat that? Like and y'all still come back together, you know?
I was gonna also say with the independence and dependence, also on the negative side, where I have to depend on you to tell me what's wrong with you.
Right.
Independence would be like you say it, you telling me yourself
Right.
what's wrong, and we can figure this out. If I have to, if I have to like figure out or question what's wrong, I feel like that's a red flag. Like
It
if
is.
there's an issue, tell me the issue. Let's put it on the table. We can resolve this issue,
We're not mind readers out here. We're
and
not
also
mind
we can
readers.
go come to a compromise. If you don't like something I did, tell me so I can change it. Have a
Exactly.
conversation. You may not always win or get your way, but it's a conversation.
It's
You know
all
what I'm
about
saying?
compromising. It's all about
Yeah.
compromising.
And that's 50-50. That's the real 50-50.
It's true. That's true. It takes time and compromising and not and understanding that you're not always gonna get your way. But
Yeah,
it's
facts.
sometimes not getting your way, um, by not always getting your way, you're helping your relationship grow. Because sometimes you might have to give up some things to make our relationship works, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And that's what I've been learning and self-reflecting is that you gotta be a team player,
Yeah.
you know. That's
Gotta
something
trust
like
your
my
team. You gotta
yeah,
trust your
for
team.
sure, for sure. I would say that's something like my mother always told me, like, always be a team player. You know, it's not always about I, it's about we. It's all about we. So then that's what I want to pride myself on. Not just, with my family and my close friends like you, but also in my relationships, you know, rather business or personal, you want to, focus on the team or us, instead of just myself. You can't be selfish, especially in a relationship, you know, because it's never gonna work that way.
Absolutely. And then
Mhm.
let's wrap up in a relationship. Who you think is going to settle down first? Me and you, me or you?
Um, I hope it's me. I hope it's me. Kodak voice, I hope so.
That's not the answer. That's not the question. I said, who you think gonna settle down first, you or me?
Oh, oh, you want the straight answer?
Yeah,
Straight answer.
I think it's you.
I think it's gonna be me.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be you,
I I
cause
think I think
I
I think it
still.
I think it will. I think it will be me
But then
because
again, the world works in
but
mysterious,
it
weird
do.
ways.
It do. I mean, I hope it's me. I mean, I hope it is. Like I said, not to toot my own horn, but no, there's some things in the works. There's some things in the works.
Oh, this is an exclusive that I didn't even know about.
Some things in the works. So
You could just
like
text it to me.
yeah, for sure. This one, like I said, it's potential,
Is
but
it is it Bridgeport?
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's what it is?
Yeah, for sure.
Bridgeport? Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
for
I
sure.
know the vibes. What's understood doesn't need to be explained.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, like I said, if that works out, you know,
Okay. All right.
we'll
So,
see.
all right. So let's talk about briefly politics. Not fully into it, but we'll do that another episode.
Right.
New York City just got a new mayor.
Right.
You know, as a person, as the new mayor, as a New York City resident, what do you want from the new mayor?
It's crazy. I was having that conversation with my brother, and I know my brother stated about um congestion pricing. Um, he talked about that because he hates the congestion price. But I was telling him like it's actually helping with the speed of transportation. It's easier to get to Manhattan faster because of the congestion pricing. Yes, we're pushing the traffic and everything out to like the FDR or on the West Side Highway, but to get into those zones below 60th Street is faster, and then it's also helping with air pollution, and then forcing people to get onto the MTA. So we have a more ridership as well because of that. So, but like I said, other people in New York are not a big fan of congestion pricing. But for me, it's housing. It's housing. It's the price of
I
housing.
feel like that's the number one.
And it's the number one. I was like, listen, yeah, I keep it real basic. It's housing, it's food, and it's jobs. Like that's the basics, and that's what we need, you know. And we don't have a great selection of jobs that are paying, you know,
The
a
living price in
competitive
New York
rate.
City.
Exactly. Yeah, that paying a competitive rate to be able to buy an apartment or buy a house in New York City, not New York
Not
State,
I wouldn't even say I would say in the
not Jersey.
tri-state, period.
Yeah.
You could probably go upstate New York and get something, but ain't no
Yeah,
jobs upstate New York.
that's what I'm saying. But I'm talking about the city. I'm talking about our city, our five boroughs. I'm talking about within our five boroughs. Like the prices are ridiculous.
That's
So
a
it's like,
fact.
and the thing is, the prices of the houses of housing is going up, but our salary ain't going up.
It
So
hasn't
it's
risen,
like,
it doesn't rise.
yeah. So it's like, and it's a struggle. That's why you're seeing a lot of people in New
Still
York
living at
City
home.
living at home with their parents, or they're moving out of New York City
Yeah, and this is the
altogether.
best, and this is supposed to be the best city in the world. And the
Yeah,
people that's from here can't even stay here.
yeah, and that's cap. It's cap.
Yeah.
We're not the best city. It's like because like we're struggling. And then also,
In terms
we
of
got
aura, we are.
yeah, for
But
sure.
aura don't
But
pay bills.
yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So it's like also we gotta look at the homeless rate too. So like the homeless rate is at an alarming high as well. And I'm noticing that like everywhere I go, feel me? And then and it's just a snowball effect. Because like if you have the homeless at a high rate, that's because it ain't enough jobs. It's not enough shelters. It's not enough housing. And then if you have a lot of homeless, that can contribute to safety. So and with safety, that really creates crime. So these are the things that we need addressed. And
Yeah.
and we want to feel safe on the trains. We want to feel safe in our neighborhoods, you know. So there's a lot of things that um people want addressed with this new mayor. So I think we should just give him a chance,
Yeah, he
you
just got
know.
in last week.
Yeah, give him a chance and hopefully he can help remedy these issues that we have. I mean, it's not gonna happen overnight. I want everybody to be clear on that, that it's not gonna happen overnight. It takes time, and he is only one person. All right. So, and this takes time. And listen, like you always drilled to me when I was younger, um, you always said like, listen, you gotta vote in your local government.
Yeah,
Feel
definitely.
me? So
Definitely.
so the things that you want done, like in your neighborhood, you
Talk to your
gotta
community
vote.
board.
Yeah, you gotta go to the community board. Like you gotta go
Talk to your
there.
councilman, your
Exactly,
alderman.
exactly. It's no excuses. This is so much information out. Listen, everybody got a smartphone, so you can go ahead and search up. Yeah, searching up on baddies. Now search up on your local government. All right.
Yeah. They
That's
gotta
all. That's all.
they
That's all that
gotta
needs to
they
be
gotta
said.
they got like the government got going Zeus Network.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you
Pretty
gotta
much.
they gotta be like baddie shot o'clock.
What? We gonna have? We gonna need AOC on Tubi for
We're
people
gonna
to
need
understand.
AOC on Zeus Network. She gotta
Yeah.
be on the they she gotta be at the club scene. We'll be getting to the bag.
Yeah, or something. But it's like, yeah, that needs to be done. But like I said, if you want to make change, you gotta change yourself first. And you gotta put the work in to to help fix yourself. Cause
Facts.
like, cause like I could say that like our city needs to be changing, but I gotta change myself first before I could change anything, you know? Cause if I have a vision for what the city should be, I should be embodying that vision, you know?
And what do you need to change? And what are you envisioning?
Um, Safer streets, people that actually love their job or are passionate about their job and not just working at the job just to make ends meet. Um, we need we need officers that care, that go into these neighborhoods and actually care about people that are in the neighborhoods. I think like my dad used to say like back in the day, like when he was in Harlem, like the housing police, like they knew everybody in the
Yeah,
housing.
yeah.
Like they knew and like they took
It
time.
it was like that back in the day. Like even when
Yeah,
I was a little kid,
yeah.
the police officers from the 75th precinct knew every kid.
Yeah, and like I feel like
Now
today
it's not like that. Definitely
it's
not.
not like that. It's not like that, and like we see a lot of cops that just be in cars, you know, and not really outside, like ingratiating themselves with the neighborhood, and not understand who's who, you know. So I feel like we just need to like be able to like communicate with each other and have that positive dialogue. 'Cause I feel like you have that positive dialogue, you won't have these um viral unfortunate incidents that um end with somebody losing their lives,
Mm.
you know, because you gotta have that relationship. At the end of the day, you want to have relationships with people because relationships could save your life, you know. So that's something that I embody. The vision is like people like are being more warming up to each other, and I know it sounds like a Disney special of OKC, but um, I feel like that's what we need more in New York City. Instead of like everybody just trying to like do do what they gotta do kind of thing. 'Cause I feel like that's kind of like been our thing. It's like, listen, I'm just trying to get to the bag. I'm just trying to do this or whatever case me. And I'm not really worrying about the whole, you know. So I feel like everybody's like quote unquote selfish. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes you got to, but I feel you. But me, a good city for me, like transportation is affordable. Like you could pay $3 to go anywhere in New York City.
right.
You know, I mean, if you want to take the express bus, $7. But
Yeah.
$3 to $7 you could get anywhere in New York City. So transportation is affordable. I just need affordable housing. That's what I really need because
Housing is that's the
you just
most
need a
important
shot
thing.
because there's no way that we're the best city in the world and the people that's from here have to go somewhere else because they can't afford to live here.
Right.
Like you go to other big cities like Houston, is they have affordable apartments and the salaries are at the same rate. So you
Yeah.
can't use that excuse as like, oh, the cost of living is so high. But you go to Houston, Houston's a big city, and you can afford to live in Houston. If you make $60,000 a year in Houston, you're good.
Right.
You know, I mean, LA is expensive too.
Yeah, that
LA,
is.
Miami, New York, those are
Yeah.
expensive cities. But I
Yeah.
feel like affordable housing. Nobody's asking to live in be like the Jeffersons. People just want a place to live and a safe place to live that's not infested with rodents.
Right.
That doesn't have high crime rates. We
Yeah.
have all of these degrees
Yeah.
and we don't
I
have
agree.
anything to
Yeah,
show
cause
for
like
it.
yeah, cause right now like affordable housing, like if you go onto the website, whatever case may be, and they
It's a
put on list
lottery.
affordable housing, the price is so high, like $1,500 or more for rent. I'm like, bro, that and you calling that affordable housing?
I'm not gonna lie, in New York City, that is affordable. The average rent in New York City is like 3,100.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
that's
For a one
affordable in New York
bedroom?
City. You just gotta live check to check.
Yeah. So it's
And then
like
you
it's
gotta do
tough.
side quest.
Yeah, you can't do nothing. So and like I said, I think it's like I think the statistic is like more than 50. I would say just argument's sake, don't quote me. It's like more than 50% is basically living paycheck to paycheck.
I
So
feel like
it's
the whole
like
city is living paycheck to paycheck if they're not on Section 8 government assistance,
yeah,
welfare, Social Security, whatever. Yeah, they are.
yeah,
You
yeah.
pay
So
your
it's like
rent and
I'm
then
like
you
so
have a
most
roof
people
over
are
your head.
one excuse my language are one fuck up from being broke and
Yeah,
being out on their ass.
you get the boot.
Yeah,
That's life in New York City.
yeah, and that's tough. That's tough. So it's like you that is a tough way to
Or you have
live.
to have roommates.
Yeah,
I know somebody who got a PhD and is a psychiatrist and she still gotta do side quest.
yeah, that's tough,
Imagine you got an Ivy League degree and you
right?
got it, your PhD, you're certified, you're a whole psychiatrist, and you
Right.
still gotta do side quest.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
I'm like, damn.
That shit, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, Like just to make it, you gotta have multiple gigs, and that shouldn't be, because then where's your work-life balance at? I'm always
Ain't no
working.
work-life balance.
Yeah, I'm always working.
Yeah.
How
That's
am
why
I gonna?
everybody's so mad all the time.
Yeah,
That's why relationships aren't lasting because nobody's happy.
yeah. How am I gonna be happy if my bills ain't paid?
Bills ain't paid, and then that's why a lot of these women they don't believe in 50-50 because they got to pay bills too, so they're gonna be broke too.
Yeah,
I mean, they're already broke, but
yeah.
they're already
That's
broke, but they got to
that's
be broker. And then a lot of men want women to do this and do that, but most of these women got to work. So they
yeah,
don't feel like doing that either. And then a lot of these women want
exactly,
these men to do A, B, and C, and then they got to work too. So that's why these relationships don't work because everybody's frustrated because nobody's where they want to be.
exactly.
Like
Nobody.
that whole the whole entire American dream is a bunch of bullshit
Yeah.
because the American dream has not worked out for nobody.
No, it hasn't. Like
They told you to
everybody,
go to college, get an education, get a decent job. You,
exactly. Everybody is
but in today's
basically working on
society,
survival.
today's society, you go to college, get a decent education, get a decent job, you still can't afford to live on your own. You gotta do a side
Exactly.
quest, maybe two side quests,
Yeah,
or work
that's
overtime
crazy.
or work overtime.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks. All right.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
So let's play new segment. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Um, Nicki Minaj. Thumbs
Down.
down. Yeah.
Back her up.
Self-explanatory.
Back her
Self-explanatory.
up.
She
Back her up.
is her fall from grace is crazy. She went from the most hottest female rap in the world to the most non I don't want to be around this person ever.
Yeah.
And I look at her weird. Like I look at her weird because Nicki Minaj isn't an ugly woman, right?
No, she's not.
She's not an ugly woman. She's an attractive woman. And out of all the men in the world, she chose the person that she's with now. It's just weird to me. You know,
Hmm.
if this prevents Nicki Minaj to ever come on our show, it is what it is. But
Hmm.
it's just weird to me when I look at it. I'm like, out of all the men in the world, you that's who you got with. And then
Yeah.
also her political takes. She has a right to her opinion. She has a right to her opinion,
Everybody has a right to opinion.
but the stuff that she's saying is out of pocket.
But
So I
just because
agree
you
with
got a
you.
right to opinion, you got a right to be criticized too.
Yeah, yeah. And what she said was out of pocket.
It is.
What she's been doing has been out of pocket.
All of it been out of pocket, in my
Yeah, it's been out
opinion.
of pocket with her.
That's why I listen. I don't listen. I don't be listening to what you got going on.
Yeah. She has a right to say what she wants to say, but it's still out of pocket.
Yeah, she's basically giving airhead vibes,
Yeah, yeah.
and like I
But
said, I don't got time for that.
also a lot of these celebrities, they're in the 1% tax bracket. So it's like, yeah, they're black, they're our color, but
Yeah, but they're not living our
they're not
struggles.
living our lives. They're not living our lives.
Yeah,
So what I think is an issue is not an issue for them. You know, what's going to benefit me is going to make them make less money. Because
right.
if you want all of this stuff in New York City or in any city, they have to pay more taxes, and nobody wants to pay more taxes, especially if you got 100 million in the bank.
Exactly.
You know, I can't buy a yacht because little Johnny wants to go to college for free. You know,
Facts.
I can't go on vacation. I mean, I could still go on vacation, but I can't do this in vacation because this person wants to have an affordable house and we got to build it with my tax money. So yeah, so that's how a lot of these rich people feel. But you know, it is what it is. All right, final thumbs up or thumbs down. KFC Jamaica has a vending machine in the airport. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I don't got a problem with that.
That shit tough,
Yeah, that's fire.
especially if you hungry and you don't feel
Facts.
like eating the regular shit.
You got the munchies or whatever. Like, yeah,
And they
yeah.
say KFC Jamaica is like way better than KFC in the States.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe it,
Because
yo.
Frisbee Columbia is good. You eat that every single time you go to
I
Columbia.
do. I do. Shout out to Frisbee.
Last one. Um, Donald Trump. Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Get him the fuck up out of here. Out here ruining my vacation plans. Out
That's
here
a
messing up my
fact.
whole life. I was like, what's
Did you
going
hear what he
on?
said recently? Did you hear what Trump said recently when he was like,
What this airhead said now.
when when the Iran, because the people in Iran are protesting the government,
Yeah.
and the people and Donald Trump told Iran to not touch the people that are protesting their government. And I'm like, bro, you the president of the United States. Fuck you worried about Iran for?
Listen, we got other issues at home. You out here trying listen, it's bad enough you kidnapping motherfuckers and shit. You doing GTA missions.
That's a fact.
I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? Bro, you don't understand what he just did. Like you kidnapping somebody
A
president,
president.
our president.
Yeah. And
That's what I'm,
he was
that is
talking about like
crazy.
different lands. He was talking about different lands. Like I think it's up with Cuba, Colombia, obviously Venezuela,
Yeah,
Greenland. First of all, when has Greenland ever been a problem? Greenland just stays in their
exactly.
own way. They don't even care about nobody. They be chilling.
Exactly.
Greenland and Iran. He said basically with Greenland, he said they got a lot of minerals, and if they don't participate or play along, we just gonna go there and take it.
See,
And he's declaring war
now
with
you
all the
making
other
us
countries as
bullies and all
well.
that stuff. Now we ain't gonna be safe nowhere.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you
We
ain't.
might not even be able to go through customs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, like you making us look bad out here, man. And I don't got no beef for none of y'all. Feel me? Listen, he did that on his own. I don't approve of anything that he does. All my, all my Colombian friends. I don't, Venezuelan. I got no issues with you. Feel me? Shout out to y'all. Feel me? But Trump, that was him. That ain't us.
Thumbs
Feel
down.
me? That's a fact. Ultimate thumbs down.
Four thumbs down. Okay. All right. So my favorite segment, brand new segment on the show. It's called Avery's Rant. So I'm gonna sit back and no cutoffs, and I'm gonna let Avery rant on whatever he feels like he wants to rant about today. So Avery, I am stepping away. Avery, go off.
Uh, today my Eagles unfortunately lost. And I know a lot of people are debating on who to blame. And I know who it is. This motherfucker Kevin Patullo. This motherfucker gotta go. See, motherfuckers egged your house when you was fucking up before. Now, your ass ain't safe. I don't know what you gonna do in Philly, cause I know you ain't gonna be safe. And until you are fired, it's gonna be hell to pay for what you did to my team. Like I said, I gave you a chance. Just like I remember when I was as a Lakers fan, I gave a chance for Russell Westbrook. Well, Russell Westbrook, sorry, but I thought he could do something, and then he was fucking up, and then I had to put him on the list. Kevin Patullo, you are officially on the list that I have beef with. Pusha T, Kevin Patullo. That's the list right now. So I got beef with both of y'all. If I see y'all, I'm putting hands on both of y'all. But Kevin Patullo is number one right now. You are my enemy. If I see you, it's lit. If I come up to Philly and I catch you, listen, I'll take a charge. I'll take a disorderly contact for you. That's what I'm saying. It's lit for you. You ruined my team. We were supposed to go back to back. And look what us. We had Cancun. You out here making me embarrassing. You know how hard it is to go to work as an Eagles fan? Feel me? And everybody here is Giants fans, or are they just like praying on my downfall and all that stuff? Like it's tough out here, man. So it's like Kevin Patullo, you just ruined my night. You ruined my night. Feel me? And then you ruined our season. Jalen Hurts, he don't talk bad about nobody. Feel me? But I gotta say it for him. You were trash. You was horrible. You fucked it up. All your plays, I knew them. And I don't even play football. Listen, listen, I feel like you copy and paste off of Madden. That's what you was fucking doing. I don't, and then we got all this offensive talent. We got AJ Brown, we got Devontae Smith, we got Dallas Goedert, and you got Jalen Hurts, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and you couldn't do nothing with them. Like you couldn't put them in positions to succeed. Like you're a disgrace. You're a travesty. So, like I said, it's lit for you. That's all I gotta say. I'm done. I'm done. You got me wearing shades and all this shit. I don't even like wearing shades like this, but it's like I'm in mourning right now. So, I'm gonna be depressed for a couple days, maybe a couple months. I don't know. For all I know, it's because of you, Kevin Patullo. Fucking hate you. I'm done.
Okay, and we're
I'm
gonna
done.
wrap the show on that. I'm Mikey Crump, and
It's your boy A Butter, bro.
that's our show. That's a wrap. Like and subscribe, and we see you guys next week. Mikey Crump over and out. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Peace.